to talk about, but here we are right now in the middle of the match as this thing got a delay, which is great for us because now through 8, we know Tiger and Peyton Manning are up 3. This thing looks to be like it's not going to be lasting as long as some predicted. There were a couple of bets that were cooked right away that we gave you on, I think it was Friday's show, maybe yesterday. And then there are 2 that are still in play. Now, Tiger and Manning winning the front 9 looks to be a lock here, as well as them winning the whole thing. You can try to get as much as you want as far as live odds, some value, tremendous from a underdog standpoint, but not from a viability standpoint. But you can try to get in on Phil all you want. That ain't happening. The hole-in-one is still active as we speak. And depending on where you placed it, depending on where you got in, you got it at 4,000. Now watch Tom Brady hole out. I'm just saying this is the type of day. We already saw, as you'll hear, Jack pulled the great chip shot from Brady, and it hasn't been a great day for him. Split his pants, put most of his golf balls in the woods. Peyton Manning, on the other hand, has looked a little better, but even still, it's been pretty bad for the most part. And Tiger has carried this competition as we all expected, really, because Phil Mickelson was the big wild card, right? Mickelson himself was the wild card because we didn't really know how good he would be, meaning how healthy he would be coming into this event. But here we are, and as the event continues, the match, if you will, continues, there are a lot of things that pop from this, from Barkley, the play-by-play, the broadcast, right through the ridiculous, awful shots that people told me would be bad and boring with my suggestion. And yes, I'm going to bring that back up, especially as we move the stream into Twitter at Shander Show, because a lot of you told me what you're seeing with Brady and Manning is off.
Garner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage. Making the right financial decisions has never been.
All right, it's ready, good to go. You want me to just play it coming out?
Can help guide you to those right decisions now when they matter most.
Sure.
Mortgage rates are near historic lows, so now is a great time to call 8338-ROCKET. And if you need some extra,
I sent you the DM on Twitter of what I'm pulled.
The boost you're looking for. Call today at 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com to learn more.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
Whoever thought putting Charles Barkley in as a commentator is a genius.
I had my wage garnishment lifted in 40.
He's made this thing just incredibly entertaining. I mean, it's already entertaining, but he just made it that much better.
Deal. We connect you.
Oh, Charles Barkley.
IRS agents and tax professionals who will get the IRS off your back.
We saved our home and overcame the most powerful collection agency in the world.
Call Tax Solutions now. Time is running out. Call 800-296-9744. 800-296-9744. 800-296-9744. 800-296-9744.
Hello, friends. It's Jim Nance. Right now, the greater Houston community has more than 1.1 million food insecure people. That's why the Spirit Golf Association created the Spirit Food Fund. The goal is to raise $2 million and provide hundreds of volunteers. Please text Spirit Food Fund to 41444 and help with whatever you can. Donate to the Spirit Food Fund, benefiting the Houston Food Bank.
Non-attorney paid spokesperson. Could your house go into foreclosure? Are you behind on your mortgage payments? Does it seem like the bank has no interest in helping you save your home and you feel like you have nowhere to turn for help? Then we have good news for you. Foreclosure Protection Services can help save your home as they specialize in foreclosure assistance. That's all they do. If you're behind on your mortgage payments, being threatened with foreclosure, have been denied a loan modification, or been the victim of a predatory loan, It's critical that you call Foreclosure Protection Services now at 800-946-1013. Their network of attorneys and their agents are available to speak to you now. If you're behind on your mortgage payments, Foreclosure Protection Services can help stop the foreclosure process. Call today before it's too late. New laws are in effect that may save your home. Call Foreclosure Protection Services now at 800-946-1013. 800-946-1013. That's 800-946-1013.
I'm coming back with the audio.
This is SB Nation Radio.
And SBNationRadio.com.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios. Here's Eitan Shander.
That's TNT, and that's the one thing Tom Brady has done well today. As I continue to watch one, if not both of these guys put balls off the tee box into the woods. And Brady has opted for it's a very odd look with this pantsuit that he has on now because of the wind picking up, and it's very baggy. Meanwhile, the other guys just look like golfers. He looks like he got a late start, was unable to go to the clubhouse, or maybe this is his first time on the course and he wasn't really sure what to wear because the people he lives with, Giselle, she's not going to know. She's pretty good when it comes to what to wear to a reveal or something along those lines, a gala. But here we go again, where Brady does what I think all of us have done at some point. That shot is the defining moment for you on the course. We've all been there where we've hit a ridiculous shot out of the bunker that rolls in, or 100 yards out, 200 yards out, maybe. I mean, now you're pushing it. Hole in one, though. I mean, these things happen, right? Every now, my sister-in-law hit her second this past week. Not in a week, but second overall. So I think we've all had a shot like Tom Brady's that keeps us coming back. And you hear that phrase, and maybe you don't know what that means. Maybe you don't play golf, or you don't play golf enough. Well, what do you mean? I keep hearing people say every now and again when they're talking about the game, well, you always have that one shot. That's that one shot. It's not the great drive that you put down the middle, 220 to 250 to 260 or 280, depending on how big of a hitter you are. It's the most ridiculous shot that if you just do everything again exactly the way you did it, it'll line up and you'll knock it in. Of course, that's just not how it works. And I don't think we're watching, as entertaining as this is, I don't think that we're watching the true dip. First off, I think these guys are lying about their handicaps. I think that's just first and foremost. We need to get that out there. I don't believe a word of this belief or thought or idea that was placed in our head before this tournament that these guys are single-digit handicaps. They might be at their own clubs when they're Judge Smales in the ball around, but I don't know. These guys aren't hitting. And yes, there's a significant difference between Tiger Phil and the rest of the world. Brooks Koepka, you want to throw a handful of golfers in there. You're seeing the best of the best. In some cases here, going up these shots that Phil and Tiger are hitting, Tiger more so just because he's still there, are ridiculous. But Brady and Manning aren't doing anything significant or special outside of maybe 2-3 shots you can say overall. 2 holes ago, Manning puts it on the fairway. So you've got a couple of shots you can look at from Peyton Manning. And remember, this thing hasn't turned yet. So once it turns, the alternate shot, and we're going to have the majority of it, the alternate shot is going to play a key factor. The alternate shot now with Peyton Manning and Tom Brady is going to play a huge role. And everybody was laughing because of this idea that I had about replacing Brady and Manning on the back nine with guys that shoot like 105, 110. And the reason why people were shooting that down before they actually heard it out, of course, is because they thought it would just be a bunch of guys hitting the ball into the woods off the tee. I hate to break it to you, but it's two guys hitting the ball into the water, the woods, the bunker, off the tee. And the only thing that's saving you is that it's Woods and Phil are there to kind of fuel like the golf. And we'll get to this crazy moment that happened. I think it was on 4. Forgot to write it down, but I believe it was on 4. From a golf standpoint, they're there to carry it. But from an entertainment standpoint, you still needed some sort of outside catalyst. And we knew, and I just had this feeling that Peyton Manning himself wasn't going to be enough to carry the group. And what I mean by that is Peyton is great with like a couple of these one-liners, and he's got good timing. That's why he's good on like Saturday Night Live or commercials when he was doing Papa John stuff. That's why when you can write humor in with Peyton Manning, he's got the timing and delivery that he can make it work. But I don't see him holding court, and he's not technically holding court. You still have the broadcast as the main catalyst. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just something that kind of has to be there. So if you're wondering why, for example, they have Charles Barkley, a TNT employee, mind you, it's not like they just plucked Charles off the street and said, hey, normally you do basketball for Fox Sports, or some local TV station in Florida outside of Medalist. Do you mind hopping on because you're a big basketball guy? We could use you. He's a TNT employee first, but he's there to really be the cattle prod, if you will, to when things get slow, to when it becomes more about golf. And we see it, right? These bets that come in. Brooks Koepka said he'd drop, I think it was $100,000 if Brady parred on any of the front 9. But there are some moments of just jokes and lighter interactions that you knew you would get. Tiger and Phil still need some work, but the one where Tiger said, if you've been watching or paying attention on the broadcast at all before the show started, there was a moment where Phil was pretty far out and wanted Tiger to go up and mark his ball on the green because he was concerned he'd hit Tiger's ball. So Tiger throws back and says, hey, should I use one of my U.S. Open medals to mark it? And Phil, they're having a little bit of a back and forth. It's funny and it's light, of course. And then Phil says, all right, well, what if I hit your ball? Do I get the hole? Or no, if I hit your ball, pardon me, I get to do it over. And Tiger comes back and says, if you hit my ball, you get the hole. Now, 2 things. One, at that point, this bet about winning 3 in a row was still in play. But also, Phil then takes the shot, and the ball lands probably 4 feet, if that, in front of where Tiger's ball is. Man, Tom Brady is atrocious. Atrocious. I say that because I'm atrocious. Do you know how? I don't believe these guys are single-digit handicaps. Do you? As somebody who plays golf, I play golf a lot. I'm not good. But I play golf a lot. All right? I have the receipts to prove it. I also have the scorecards to prove that I'm not good. 105 is pretty good, like on average. I'm not breaking 100. Not at the course that I play. It's impossible because I'm not good. I can't blame it all on the course. But there are things happening here with Tom Brady, how he's executing, how the ball, the flight, and everything. This is not a good golfer, a great golfer, if you will. And a single-digit handicapper is a great golfer. Scratch golfer, pro, like subpar. All right, we're talking about a rarity. You're talking about the low percentage. To play on a tour, any tour, is insanity to be able to be that good, consistently good. And of course, that's always what separates these guys and women versus the rest of us, is that they are so damn good, so consistent. And when they miss, they know exactly where to miss. Tom Brady is spraying the ball all over the place. And outside of people ripping him and the occasional Charles Barkley insult, Brady isn't really doing much with any type of golf action to kind of help his case out here. They've got the rain coming down, and we'll see how much of an impact that continues to be. But Manning is playing at least better, I'd say marginally better, than Tom Brady. Tom Brady is really a problem right now for his partner. So if you took Tiger Woods and Peyton Manning to win this thing, and I've got some interesting bets that we'll hit on coming up, courtesy of Bet America here. But if you looked at Tiger winning this thing, and it was really Tiger versus Phil, right? You took Tiger as overall, or you just took Tiger winning the front nine. Congratulations, Tiger winning the front nine, easy, because it was always going to be about Tiger and Phil when those other two guys' balls don't count on the front nine. Peyton Manning here. Oh, Peyton trying to do his impersonation of Tom Brady with a long putt off the green to hole out. Again, back nine is where it really matters. Back nine is where you'll start to see that hole-by-hole value. And we'll look at it as we continue to progress in this thing, because you're going to find some crazy value right now in the next hole or two, especially with Tiger Woods sticking shots out of the bunker. My goodness. You're going to find significant value, and then it's going to drop really fast for when this thing ends. And it might be 16, 17, around that moment. If Phil can get a hole. He's trying to win the hole right now from off the green, but you'll see if Tiger Woods and mainly Peyton Manning doesn't screw this thing up, like put the ball OB to where they have to drop. I'm confident Tiger can hit out of most spots. But as we push on into the back nine here, remember, it's going to end. Tiger's going to win this thing. It's just a matter of 15, 16, 17. I can't see this thing, some royal comeback here, mounted by Phil Mickelson because of his partner. Tom Brady has essentially ruined their chances of winning the match. Through 9, Woods and Manning are up 3. And not only do they take the front 9 convincingly, but the alternate shot, based on what we've seen with Tom Brady so far, should pretty much lock this up. Now, I took it to close at 16, and I'm getting nervous because now Phil's going to have to rely on Tom Brady to not hit it into the water, to not hit it into the woods. All of those shots that they could laugh off. When's football season begin? That's out now. You can't laugh. Phil's looking over like, hey, man, you got to start putting it on, at least in play. Like, can we at least have it in play? Charles Barkley had it where he said earlier, and this might have been the second or third hole, where he challenged Tom Brady from afar. Must have been, 200 yards, maybe a little less than that. Under 200. And he said, all right, Tom, I'll give you $20,000 if you put it on the green. And Tom Brady put it nowhere near the fringe, the first cut. That thing was long gone. And Barkley, as Brady's walking out, reminds Brady and says, hey, man, I should have bet you $20,000 that you would have just put it on earth. It's got to that point with Tom Brady where he is definitely standing out. And I don't know how this changes. I don't know how all of a sudden you look at Tom Brady's game and think, all right, well, back 9, this is his. Going up against, mind you, a guy in Tiger Woods who has the lead. I don't care what tournament it is. Tiger Woods could be playing a father-son tournament in a mini golf course in Jupiter, Florida. And if he has the lead, it's over. It doesn't matter if there's anything golf-related that Tiger has the lead with. It's a wrap. It's over. Just move on to the next event. There is no way in hell that Phil Mickelson is going to come back and win this event. I don't care if they cut Tom Brady out right now and said, Tom, your shots don't even count. You can go home. In fact, that's probably what they should do. They should tap out. They should have had somebody waiting right now just in case. One option, one opportunity to tap out, and they could have got Brady the hell out of there and actually put somebody in to give Mickelson at least a chance. My goodness. I think from Peyton Manning's standpoint, he has nothing convincing either. And we'll get to that, this bet now, how you can turn things around in the next 3 holes as we roll on here. 800-224-2004. Live as we're looking at the return of sports. It's not what we thought maybe a couple of months ago, but we've got something. It's 4 humongous names, and it's blowing up social media and your television and your radio, all here on SB Nation Radio.
Second level.
I also sent you something. It was Brady. He's saying like because they compared Tiger Woods to the Falcons.
Yeah, that with the Eagles.
Yeah, that's ready to go if you want to use it.
Yeah,
too.
do you want to come back with it, please?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks,
I
man.
figured you'd like that, considering your loyalty and your fandom.
That's really off. This is
Yeah,
the dueling
I was looking at that
Fauci's
earlier.
here.
That's
that
perfect.
the
Thank you.
idea of having
Got it, Eitan.
available to facilitate the reentry of students into the fall term would be something that would be a bit of a bridge too far.
Or
We may never be able to shake hands ever again. It's more like if you have 2 people in a room, it's better if one of them leaves.
Tony's Fauci sounds like what the real Fauci would sound like if he were yelling. The real Fauci sounds like he's been yelling at the president for the last 8 hours.
The Second Level, weekdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. Pharrell,
It's Pharrell, coast to coast, every day, 4 to 6. I talk to the biggest names in sports. I talk to GMs, coaches, owners, players, and they're all doing the same thing. They're laughing, and they're breaking up, and they don't know whether they're coming or going when I'm done with them. I'm giving you what you want. Sports, down your throat, big time on SB Nation, baby.
Pharrell Coast to Coast with Scott Pharrell. Weekdays from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern. Into the night.
Here with Phil Simms into the night. All right, Phil, where's the 30 for 30 on Phil Simms and Bill Parcells?
No, the
and
Bill
the
Parcells
Giants?
era with the Giants
Exactly.
would be fascinating.
How can that not be a 30 for 30, Phil?
Well, one, it's a new world or an old world back then, so there's not video much of anything, and especially our interactions during practice. So his favorite, I always say this, played under Bill Parcells for 8 years. Of course, we had great success. And when he retired, I had to come home and check my birth certificate to see if my first name began with a P or an F. Because for 8 years, I was F and Sims. F and Sims. It never ended.
Well, you can spell Phil with an F, depending.
Well, I guess you can. Yeah. One of my teammates once said, you should just write FS. It's like Lawrence Taylor does LT. And I go, what? Excuse me, what'd you say? He goes, FS. I said, I thought I heard you say that.
Into the Night with Tony Bruno and Harry Mays. Weeknights at 10 Eastern. Introducing AutomotiveMap.com, a brand new website for anyone interested in what's happening in the world of automobiles. From reviews on the latest vehicles to vintage rides to tips on keeping your family safe on the road, AutomotiveMap.com has something for you. If you love cars, trucks, and SUVs, and the amazing technology hitting your favorite showroom, check out the brand new AutomotiveMap.com. This is SB Nation Radio,
And SBNationRadio.com.
presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios, here's Eitan Shander.
These aren't the Falcons you're playing against. Tigers are pretty good closer.
Same colors, though. It's the Eagles that I cringe, bro, not the Falcons.
There you go. It'll be forever remembered, especially. And here's the thing. And I don't know. There was one thing that was brought up that idiot, I think it was Justin Thomas, was talking over, and the broadcast was enamored because he's a golfer. But there was a clip, and I'm going to go back on the broadcast and find it when this is all done, and hopefully have it on tomorrow's show. But Peyton Manning is talking about Ed Hockley randomly. I mean, how in the world could Ed Hockley possibly come up naturally in conversation in the middle of a golf tournament? And the broadcast has it on his mic because they're all mic'd up, and they don't do anything with it. They just ignore it. He rolls on. They don't even follow his mic. It's almost like they turned his mic down so that you could hear the rest of the broadcast. And I was fuming because I'm thinking that's a story right there. That's something that we want to hear. We want to hear football stories that you can't find anywhere else. We just got the Jordan documentary. We just got the Last Dance in 2020 that relived so many great moments for a lot of us, taught a lot of new moments for some other people that weren't around or were very young back then. And we got to relive a fantastic career. And I think with Brady and Manning, both of these guys are able to provide that level of insight because it's their own careers, it's their own anecdotes, it's their own stories. And it is on them, I think, in this regard, to fuel conversation and to give us some entertaining content. Yeah, Tom Brady's stinking it up right now, and Peyton Manning is playing a little bit better. At least he's getting the advice of anything he can find from 100 yards in, really on the green as well, in Tiger Woods. But it's fascinating to me in one regard, where you do have this element of guys who have been humanized on the golf course that are legends, just absolute top 5 when it comes to numbers, accomplishments, and everything in the game that we love the most, the game that we pay the most attention to beyond anything else by a mile. And here they are out there humanized. And I'm not asking or demanding for more or saying that the broadcast is really suffering as a result, but this is a great opportunity for both Brady and Manning, especially in the back 9, where their shots now count. And there is going to be a lot more interaction about what to do with the ball, where to place the ball, where to aim, how hard to putt it. All of these things now play a much bigger role as you try to win a hole together, as opposed to just, all right, Tom, all right, Peyton, just sit in the back and let's just leave this to the pros in the first 9, which they did, and Tiger came out and handled it. Back 9, though, this is where you get a ton more opportunity for interaction and conversation. And I don't necessarily know if we should expect Tiger Woods is not the, hey, let me put my arm around you, Peyton Manning, and tell you one of these great anecdotes about a Denny's or anything else. Peyton Manning, on the other hand, could be, I think, led into that. And that's where Manning and Brady are going to do the audience an amazing, awesome service by talking about mentioning a game, mentioning something in their career. And as down as I've been coming into this on Tom Brady, knowing that I just wasn't believing that he would have the personality to drive much, that is insight right there. You'll never find that anywhere else. You'll never find that's, I'm telling you right now, that's a viral moment already in Philadelphia. It will be played locally all week. Forget day, week coming up. There'll be that clip. It's the Eagles. I cringe, bro. That's what you'll hear. You'll never find that in any press conference. Tom Brady won't say that after any game. Tom Brady won't say that in any commercial. He won't say that on any social media posting, anything like that. It was a joke. They know, of course, they're on TV. Let's not play dumb here and act like this is some hidden camera. But you can still play to the camera. You can still play to the audience while showing a little about yourself, that some things that you may not get, even if it's just a glimpse into personality, a glimpse with a small little quip or joke in that case. And it was funny. It was great. And it's, again, something that I never thought I would hear from Tom Brady, especially in public. But doesn't it make sense? I mean, Tom Brady is a guy who is still playing, still driven by the fact that he was slighted in the draft. I'm sure driven by the pettiness that broke up whatever the hell it was up in New England. Dynasty first and then meltdown at the end. You're telling me that losing to, forget it, that it was the Eagles. The Eagles, the Philadelphia Eagles part of the team is arbitrary in this case. I hate to say it as a resident of the city and a fan of the team, but Nick Foles, the backup quarterback, that's how you lost the Super Bowl, man. Like, that's the stuff he has to answer to now. And don't you think, can't you see, don't you know, it just burns him, drives him nuts that he lost the Super Bowl to the Giants. Eli Manning beat him twice. That defensive line, though, that thing was a masterpiece. Tom Coughlin and Spags and what they did on defense was a masterpiece. And they should get credit for that because Tom Brady was harassed straight up the middle, unlike any other game in which he played that year 2 times over. But to lose a Super Bowl, that's what it is. It's not that Nick Foles is giving Tom Brady nightmares. It's that Tom Brady is waking up at 3 a.m., cold sweats, like, I could have had that one. I threw for over 500 yards. I lit up the scoreboard, and we lost to a backup quarterback. You know that drives him more nuts than anything else, especially some of these terrible shots. All right, we'll get an expert opinion coming up next here on SB Nation Radio. Charlie Epps.
It's the Eagles that I cringe, bro, not the Falcons.
Here.
Nice. That was me. I threw the Epps thing in late, but that was great. That was a good call by you to play that.
Hey, no problem. I figured that's what it was mounting to.
Do you know his Twitter? I'm sure I can find it.
Yeah, it's the Golf Doctor.
Golf Doctor.
Let me see something like that. Oh, and also when you introduce him, try not to mention the country club because he's no longer a part of that country club.
Okay, I just want to make sure I know.
Call today at 8338-ROCK.
The Golf Doctor?
Yeah, the tweet that I tweeted. Here, let me see.
Oh, wait. You're right. You put it in the tweet.
NMLS number 3030.
I got it.
I owed the IRS
cool.
$1,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal. We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who will get the IRS off your back.
We saved our home and overcame the most powerful collection agency in the world.
Call Tax Solutions now. Time is running out. Call 800-296-9744. 800-296-9744. 800-296-9744. 800-296-9744.
The final season of inventory is happening now at Copperleaf. Experience the finest in traditional Western living and great outdoor recreation with your gorgeous 1 to 3 plus acre mountainside home site, priced from only $79.9. Plus, for a limited time, no closing costs. This spectacular mountain paradise offers pristine Rocky Mountain views, private access to the historic Shoshone River for incredible blue ribbon trout fishing, a prime location next to the entrance of Yellowstone Park for hiking, sightseeing.
Got him. And his show comes on,
including central water and sewer, underground electric, and more. During your private Copperleaf tour, you can choose to drive your own vehicle or take advantage of our safe and sanitary tour options. Call
9 a.m. Eastern time on Saturdays.
6 and ask how to take a live video tour of your beautiful 1 to 3 plus acre mountainside home site, priced from only $79.9 at Copperleaf. Don't wait. 866-935-2636 to take a live video tour of Copperleaf or visit copperleafwyoming.com.
My name is Megan Eddings, founder and CEO of Excel Lifestyle. Research shows that wearing a face mask drastically reduces the spread of the coronavirus. Excel Lifestyle's Prima antibacterial face masks are soft, washable, and double layer for added protection. To purchase you and your loved one's face mask, please go to excellifestyle.com. That's ACCEL lifestyle.com. Once we receive your order, we will ship your masks out immediately. Thank you and stay safe.
All right, we got Charlie?
Yes, we do.
This is SB Nation Radio,
And SBNationRadio.com.
presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans, live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios. Here's Eitan Shen.
Well, who better as we're trying to figure out how at all Phil Mickelson can overcome not only a deficit on the leaderboard, but whatever his partner has left him as well in Tom Brady's performance. So we go out to the Progressive guest line, bring in Charlie Epps. You hear him here on SB Nation Radio. Can follow him on Twitter at @thegolf_doctor. Charlie, Eitan Shander, SB Nation Radio here. Appreciate your time today, sir. Right smack in the middle of this. So truly appreciate you taking a minute away. Thank you.
It's no problem, and I'm not missing anything.
Great. We both are watching as we speak. I love it. Are you more impressed with Peyton Manning or are you less impressed with Tom Brady so far?
I'm less impressed with Phil Mickelson. Phil
I was trying to soften the blow with him a little bit. I figured the other guys deserved it more, but take it away, please.
Phil should have played right-handed the way he's playing today. I mean, come on, Phil. He's so worried about trying to be so cute and doing his trash talk, and his golf is really kind of letting him down. So, it's good. It's a great, charity. They're raising a lot of money, and Tiger's playing pretty good. Brady made that great shot right after Chuck was giving him some crap, So, and then I'm pretty impressed with Manning. I think Manning's got a pretty good game. But these type of exhibitions are so hard being live because it's hard to play in this type of format, But it is what it is, and I've recorded it and I'll watch it again. But we're going to raise a lot of money.
That's the best part about it is a lot of money, a ton of money it's pouring in live bets of people challenging the golfers to hit this or land here. Let's look, though, from a mechanical standpoint. Charlie, what has stood out to you about Phil Mickelson? And I wonder, just kind of tailing end on that question, is it anything that could be long-term concerning for the season?
No. There's one problem with Phil's swing, and it's called Tiger Woods. He's looking over his shoulder, and he wants to beat Tiger so badly that he's over trying. I think. I mean, he's had so many, bad errant shots. Really hadn't had any good ones that I've seen. So, but no, I think Phil. He always finds a way to, regroup and. But it's the layoff that's it's causing him, and he's 50 years old now. So this layoff for since probably last November for him is really showing.
Looks like Tiger Woods is pretty healthy, Charlie.
Tiger is he's got the perfect setup, and his golf really looks in pretty good shape. He has to work a lot on his body because we all know his history of all his operations and especially his back, and so he's quite good.
What are you looking at when you see the difference of Woods and Mickelson versus the other two guys? And we know Manning has been playing. It's actually gotten more than marginally better than Brady, and he's actually playing better than Brady. But when you look at the approach and alternate shot, how do Mickelson and Woods save shots? How do they factor in to where you can hit a bad shot and it's not a problem?
An alternate shot, it is a problem because, it's modified where they're both driving and they get to pick the best drive in alternate shot from then on in. But the truth of the matter is what they've shown us today. I don't think they're going to finish very strongly. They might have a lucky shot show up, but Woods, he's controlling the ball game.
Yeah, this has really been a Tiger Woods show. Now, from the entertainment standpoint, is there a bigger star on the broadcast than Barkley, including the four players right now?
Chuck is beautiful. I really like him. I've actually been with Jim Flick and I when we worked for the Nicklaus organization. We gave him a lesson up in Philly, and he's not a nicer guy in the world to be around. And back then he was playing pretty good, but then all of a sudden he got this yip in his golf swing, and it went from bad to worse. But he's got one great sense of humor,
Well, yeah, and I was going to ask. I mean, you've worked with some pretty top-name golfers, some winners out there. Anything you can do to fix that swing?
He can take tennis. It might not be too late.
Is that it? All the people that are in a little older of an age group just hung up thinking like, oh, my goodness, it's over. I have no hope to break 100 now. Charlie Epps told me to play tennis.
But he takes it in stride.
He does.
He keeps coming back, and I admire the guy for doing that. But he likes the limelight, and he would love to play better. I mean, because one thing about gambling, golf is a great gambling game, and he really would like to get Jordan on the golf course and beat him. That would give him more satisfaction than winning a title in the NBA.
Well, we're watching something that you alluded to, and I have to give you credit because I was thinking about it ever since you said it about Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson, that Phil's only problem is Tiger Woods and just this haunting of Woods hanging over him. That's how Tom Brady's career has been. Every single quarterback that's gone into New England that's had to face Brady has felt what Phil and I think everybody feels. And it's kind of crazy because I imagine, Charlie, that Tom Brady has never been in a position where he hasn't been the guy that everybody fears like that.
Well, his college career wasn't very, very much, but we
could go back to Michigan. You're right. It would take over 20 years, to be fair.
Yeah, but once he got into the pros, I mean, it's just been actually, incredible. What he did to Atlanta. I mean, and then what he did to the Seahawks. I mean, come on. I mean, that's just that's horrible. He is just so cool, calm, and collected, and you can see him today not playing very good, and it's really not bothering him that much. And then all of a sudden, he makes a shot from 140 yards, and wins $100,000 from Barkley.
Peyton Manning right now, as we speak, is stepping up his game to where he starts to look more and more like a single-digit handicapper. I have to say, Charlie, as somebody who plays golf often but poorly and won't break 100, I recognize a fraud when I see one. Is Brady lying about his handicap?
Yes. I mean, the last time he played the course we're playing today, he shot 101.
Wow.
So, but Manning, for example, Manning's a member of Augusta.
Wow.
So he's big time.
You don't mess around with that. You don't go to Augusta and shoot 106.
No. So he's got more experience. But I think if Tom retires Brady, he'll become a better golfer. He's got all he looks like a better golfer than he is right now.
Charlie Epps joining us, 8-Touch Hitter, SB Nation Radio. Let's look at just how realistic it is, or I guess how well Tom Brady would have to play in order to give their team a chance to win this. I know that it's a pretty significant hole right now, and a lot of it seems to be in the alternate shot factor. Something on something on Brady, Charlie.
Well, Brady, he's just going to have to hit a couple lucky shots.
Well, he just did.
Knowing him, he'll probably do it.
Well, yeah, now, see, this is it. Like, now all of a sudden the Brady thing factors in. The guy has hit one lucky shot earlier in the front nine to hole out, and then just won a hole, just won 11 with a ridiculous putt. I mean, this is a guy who's been putting the ball in the woods routinely, and of course, his two lucky shots of the day are going to be the most memorable.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They'll have some highlights, but do you think he's got a chance in Tampa?
That's a great question. I think the biggest problem that they're going to face is not having a full offseason to play together. It's not easy to put new faces, especially a new quarterback, into a system and expect everybody to get it the first week. So I think they're going to struggle the first month or so. But we also have to look at New Orleans. I mean, that team ain't going anywhere.
As long as yes, they're good. I mean, they got that backup quarterback that plays, the funny position.
Taysom Hill, right?
He can. If something happens to Manning, they can. He can get in there and help them. But and not Manning. What's his name? The quarterback for New Orleans.
Oh, Breeze.
Yeah, Drew Brees. I mean, I love watching him play. I just hope he doesn't get hurt.
Anything we should look forward to as far as with time? I know I asked something similar from a negative standpoint, Charlie, and I appreciate the time. So let's end with this. But is there anything from a positive standpoint that you could look at from Tiger today and say that should carry over into the season?
Well, his enthusiasm for the game is really better than it was 5 years ago. And when he won it at Augusta, and won that green jacket. Phil just hit a good shot on 12. That's a good sign. But yeah, his enthusiasm for the game and having his kids be of an age that he can show them what their father really did when he was younger. I think we're in for a treat with Tiger for a few years to come.
Awesome stuff, Charlie. Thank you, sir. Look forward to hearing you soon on the radio too.
Okay, bye-bye. All
right, that's Charlie Epps. Great stuff, and we'll get a betting recap coming up in the second hour, as this thing is going to last a little bit longer right now. I'll explain as we'll come up in a couple of minutes. Before we wrap the hour, though, Tom Brady hit his second shot of the day. He hasn't hit many, mostly off the tee. This has not been a good outing whatsoever. Meanwhile, all Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods keep doing, for the most part, are trading stick shots back and forth. But Tom Brady right now could be the difference maker. We thought that it was Peyton Manning basically just staying the course and playing marginally better than even Manning was playing in the front nine and not screwing it up. That's also factoring in that Tom Brady was not having at all a really good first nine, in the round, minus that hole out that he hit in from, I was like $140 or something out. But this par 3, now on 12, they come into it 2 down. 2 down. And that's all because of Brady's humongous putt. Now, it's an alternate shot, so they're set up for eagle and all when you're playing with a guy like Mickelson. But isn't this golf? Brady goes immediately. Brady with the putt of the day, then puts one in the river or whatever the hell that marsh is. We'll wrap the hour next year on SB Nation Radio.
Wait, Paul. When my son goes down to Gainesville to go to the University of Florida, my advice to him will be, do not be Florida man.
Tom Brady was only there for a week.
Right.
And he's done 2 things now where he's Florida man.
It's something that just comes over people and they're like,
is it the water?
Wow.
Is it the sunshine? My question to you, Father, is if he starts to become that, do you pull him out?
That's a good question. That's where I might have to sit with my wife and go, look, he's putting toothpicks in light sockets. He's walking around with an open umbrella during a lightning storm. We have to sit down and reassess his post-high school education.
He's walking into people's houses thinking it was his professors?
He's right. Yeah, right. Exactly.
We can't have this.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned.
Throwing footballs in a park that's closed.
It's closed. Wrestling alligators. I don't want you doing that. Or petting alligators, whatever. Don't do any of these Florida man things. I'm just afraid it's in the water.
Wake Up Call with Tony D and Ron Culver. Weekday mornings. Pharrell.
Coast to coast. It's Pharrell, coast to coast. We're taking over the world. And I got to tell you, from the beginning, it's been kind of easy. You got to love us on SB Nation, kicking ass and taking names. Every day, 4 to 6, you catch my Sports Grid coast to coast gig. And imagine this. Once we go live again, baby, you're not going to know what hit you when I start pouring beers and shots for you.
Pharrell Coast to Coast with Scott Pharrell. Weekdays from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern. Pushing the Odds with Matt Perrault.
Joe Theismann here. I'm pushing the odds. How has quarantine life been for you?
Probably the most important word that we can all consider is patience with everybody. I know everybody's sort of going stir crazy. I mean, let's face it. This is something we're not used to as a society. We move quite rapidly, but now we're forced to sort of reevaluate the important things in life, and I think it's good in that regard. Matt, I've said this for a long time. If you have your health, you have wealth. Wealth has nothing to do with what your bank account looks like. If you have your health, then you are a very wealthy person. Now it's important that we understand that you want to be able to keep social distancing so that everybody can stay healthy, and the more we can practice that, every day that we can practice that, every day we can buy a day for the scientists to be able to come up with a cure or a vaccine, it's a day closer to having this craziness end, and life will never be the same.
Pushing the Odds with Matt Perrault. Weekday afternoons from 1 to 4 Eastern on SB Nation Radio. Game Time Decisions.
I'm Gabriel Morency, inviting you to join me and the Raging Redhead, Cam Stewart, weekdays at 6 Eastern on SB Nation Radio, the loudest station in the nation. No games, no problem. We've got your back. Weekdays at 6. We throw it down. Best bets, props. If they're playing, we'll find a number on it. Bring it. Weekdays at 6. SB Nation Radio, Game Time Decisions.
Game Time Decisions with Gabe Morency and Cam Stewart. Weekdays at 6 p.m. Eastern. This is SB Nation Radio.
And SBNationRadio.com.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios. Here's Eitan Shander.
My guy, Ball316 on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Shander Show, of course, is how you can follow along and interact with the program. You think Tampa Bay management, I got to put that up on the stream. You think Tampa Bay management is okay with Brady's left foot hanging out of that cart? Yeah, I imagine that Bruce Arians is sitting there cringing every single time Brady does anything, including swinging a golf club. I mean, if I'm Bruce Arians, I'm sitting there. I can't enjoy this. I got $50 million guaranteed invested into a guy who looks like the last thing he does for a living is play NFL quarterback. Even before the show, I was across at my brother and sister-in-law's. My brother-in-law's family was there. We were watching, talking, and his mom mentioned about how thin and just skinny and frail Brady looks compared to what he used to. And yeah, a lot of that is the TB12 and all. But if I'm Arians or anybody for that matter in the front office watching this thing, how can you not? Just the motion of it. Is that going to be the swing right there? Is that going to be the drive right there that twists Brady's back, that pulls an oblique? Or we see on Twitch. Can you imagine? He's speeding around. They got these high-speed, fast-paced golf carts specifically for these guys. It's like the Trump mobile that was plastered all over Twitter yesterday. Super fast, skyrocket, just zip around the course to expedite the round here. And here's Brady. Hey, guys. Going back and forth with Chuck, not focusing on where he's going, and there goes that left foot. That would be something, man, right there. He's not playing well enough overall, I think, to survive that one. But here's this team doing their best to win the hole once again because Phil Mickelson's putt was the closest. So they try to hole out, and Tom Brady just holes out and misses it. In and around. Think about where we've been with Brady. He has the putt of the day, the previous hole. That's how that previous hole ended. 11 ended with the putt of the day. They tie 12. They move on. So right now, Woods and Manning still up 2 through 12. Closing this thing out in 16 where I had it and gave it out on Friday, still in play. Woods winning the front 9, that's a lock. Actually, a team winning 3 in a row is still in play as well, as much of a long shot as that was. But Brady goes from the putt of the day to putting his tee shot 155 short in the swamp and then holing and rimming out the eagle putt to win the hole because of Phil's putt. This is golf. Good luck. Peyton Manning is the only hope right now that Woods has to prevent the comeback because Mickelson has it in his eyes. Great stuff, man. I'll talk to you next week, Jack. Thank you.
Yes, sir. No problem, Eitan.
Bye, buddy. Bye.
Wake up call.
And one of the things I do like about Rodgers that is not like other quarterbacks in this league, and even veterans in this league who tend to not speak their mind, Rodgers speaks his mind. He's going to probably have a lot to say about this organization not meeting the needs of a 13-3 team that was a win away from the Super Bowl.
So gone are the days of RELAX.
Yeah, I think so.
Wake Up Call with Tony D and Ron Culver. Weekday mornings. Into the night.
The great Pat McAfee, an award-winning sports reporter, former punter, joins us now. Pat, I read that you said that you have no shot of being part of the Monday Night Crew. Is that official, or is that just your gut feeling?
A year ago, my boys and I and the people that follow me on the internet are the greatest humans on earth. We pushed for the Monday Night Football rule. We know there was no chance that I would get considered for it, but we've been a little bit annoyed. And whenever the job seemed to be opened up yet again here, obviously the natural thing was, okay, we made a push for it last year. Let's go for it again. And every time I would ask a question to, my people, people, I was basically told, like, that's going to be a long shot because ESPN, they want a prestigious booth again. And whenever you're a punter, that's not necessarily the position you're always in, a prestigious one, shall we say. So I think I've been told on a couple different occasions that I'm probably not the guy that's going to get that gig. And do I think I'd be good at it? Yeah, I think I would be. But now is not the right time. And there is zero chance in hell that I get offered the gig anyway.
Into the Night with Tony Bruno and Harry Mays. Weeknights at 10 Eastern. Pharrell.
Coast to coast. I do Pharrell Coast to Coast on SB Nation from 4 to 6 Eastern. It's my Sports Grid show. I know you love it. I'm talking to the coolest people in sports, unique characters, you name it, I bring it to you. Wait till you get a load of me when I'm on at 7 p.m. Eastern. We do a show called In Game Live, where I show you how much of an in-game betting problem that I have.
Pharrell Coast to Coast with Scott Pharrell. Weekdays from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern.
Wake up call. We know Major League Baseball is trying to get back, but eventually it will, and eventually minor league baseball will be back. And if you are a minor league team in need of a change of identity, would you go with Murder Hornets?
I think it's a fantastic idea.
Kind of like with a hat, with a Murder Hornet hat on it, maybe going through some letter or something. Like if you're Chattanooga, you got a C on it and a Murder Hornet blasting through.
A Murder Hornet mascot running through the stadium.
Wouldn't it be cool if you have like a race between a bee and a Murder Hornet? Like, everybody, now let's go to the outfield where Harry the Murder Hornet is going to be running against a couple of bees. And you get the fans dressed up as bees and they're running. And if they can outrun the Murder Hornet, they get a prize pack. But if the Murder Hornet catches them, unfortunately, he's got to rip their head off.
Wake Up Call with Tony D and Ron Culver. Weekday mornings.
If business, pleasure, or sports fandom takes you to Houston, Dallas, Austin, Fort Worth, or San Antonio, check out CultureMap.com to get the scoop on the local favorites. From the best restaurants, bars, pubs, and clubs to the biggest sights and sounds each city has to offer, Culture Map has it all. Just head over to CultureMap.com. The expert team personally reviews and visits each spot to make sure you get the best experience. And if you're coming back, sign up for free Culture Map updates at CultureMap.com.
Pushing the Odds with Matt Perrault.
I want to talk about baseball and the money conversation. What's going on?
I think I'm allergic to
Oh, okay. We'll talk about that later, okay? Madeline, I'm on the air, kiddo. I can't talk right now, okay? We'll talk later, okay? Hold on. Just stay right there. I have a commercial break coming up. This is what I'm dealing with a fiber. And my wife is here. I don't know why. Why is Mom letting you in here, Madeline? Do you want to come on the radio or what? What?
Yes, now.
Yes, now? Wait, so just say hi, then you can be gone, okay?
I'm going to come on the radio now.
You're on the radio now. That microphone's on. You're on the radio now.
Hi, bye. I have headphones.
Those are headphones. Yes, you do. So, yeah, that's my life now, okay? I'm getting interrupted doing national radio with a 5-year-old running in and out, okay? Thanks, hon. Appreciate it. I'll come talk to you during the commercial break. Oh, boy. Okay.
Pushing the Odds with Matt Perrault. Weekday afternoons from 1 to 4 Eastern on SB Nation Radio. Game Time Decisions.
What's up, everybody? I am Gabriel Morency inviting you. No, I'm not inviting you. I'm telling you. Join me and the Raging Redhead Cat Stewart weekdays at 6 Eastern as we throw it down on the loudest station in the nation, SB Nation Radio. It's Game Time Decisions with Gabriel Morency and the Raging Redhead Cat Stewart weekdays at 6 Eastern on SB Nation Radio. Bring it.
Game Time Decisions with Gabe Morency and Cam Stewart. Weekdays at 6 p.m. Eastern.
Listen to the car guru himself, Mike Herzing with Matt.
What up, man? Yo, what's going
Saturday morning from 7 to 8 Eastern
All right.
on Let's Talk Wheels, right here on SB Nation Radio. Join Mike and Matt as they talk about everything going on in the world of cars. To get more content on your favorite team, you can check out our friends at SBNation.com. They have team-specific sites to fit your needs, whether it's basketball, baseball, NFL, or the school you graduated from. SB Nation has you covered.
You're going on a trip, but where are you going to stay? How much will it cost? Well, it'll cost less by booking on besthotelrates.com. BestHotelRates.com works with all the top hotels in the country while delivering you great hotel and room choices for the best prices. Why wait? Go to besthotelrates.com, enter your email address, and start shopping for your next hotel room. BestHotelRates.com. It's in the name. BestHotelRates.com.
This is SB Nation Radio. SB Nation Radio.
And SBNationRadio.com.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Rocket Mortgage is with you every step of the way. Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios.
Can you hear that in the background, by the way?
Mike's hot.
We move to the closing couple of holes here as Peyton Manning seems to be able to consistently get off the tee now. In fact, they just used Manning's tee shot on this long par 5. Woods and Manning trying to get out of the bunker. Peyton will have to do that. But still only 2 up, despite Phil Mickelson's best efforts. Tom Brady just not great. Tom Brady's struggles, I think, is going to be the story here outside of Phil Mickelson leaving a couple of holes. Maybe you can even argue 2 on the front 9, and that being the deficit that they had to climb out of. It sure as hell wasn't Tom Brady's fault that they were losing holes in the front 9. Brady's balls didn't matter at that point. They do matter now. Every shot matters now. And you're not going to get around it if you're putting something into the trees. With that said, I'll give you a perfect example of how this has been a frustrating afternoon, at least back 9, despite a significant chunk into the lead with an eagle putt that I don't think anybody thought would happen from Tom Brady. But here we go. Brady again doing some crazy stuff. But you've seen really Phil Mickelson get off the tee box, and they use Phil's drive because his drive landed in play and Brady's didn't. So on the par 5, the second shot, it's Brady's shot there to just get it closer. He hits it fat, which puts Phil in a very difficult position of distance, a position that he's normally not comfortable hitting from. So Phil overshoots the green. It's not necessarily Brady's fault that Phil overshot the green, but these are very difficult scenarios, rescue scenarios that Woods and Phil are trying to save themselves from. And it's all because of Manning and Brady. Again, Manning overshoots the green right now. Tiger has to save him. Rain's coming down really hard at Medalist. I don't know what's going to happen, if we're going to see a delay or not, but it's been entertaining so far. Some of it is simply that we have sports back. Some of it is simply that we have something to bet on, and it's not something foreign. It's Tiger and Phil, and that's great. Not foreign, like, I mean, marbles or something that nobody's ever heard of.
Hi, this is CEO.
I got updates, live updates from the match. What else do you want for the Twitter?
Right decisions now when they matter most. Mortgage rates are near historic lows. So when you
and then you can tweet Philly Godfather at Philly Godfather at 7:40.
You'll be well on.
Okay.
That's fine.
Every
We'll just
month.
talk about
The
this,
rate
man.
today
I don't
on
have
30-year
anything
fixed
major
rate mortgage is
earth-shattering.
3.375%.
All right, just give me 1 second.
0.59%. Right now could be a great time for you to take some positive financial steps forward with a cash-out refinance from Rocket Mortgage, which could give you the boost that you're looking for. In addition, we may be able to help you refinance with little or no out-of-pocket costs. At Rocket Mortgage, we're committed to every client, every time, no exceptions, no excuses, giving you the best mortgage experience. Call us today at 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com to learn more.
Rates subject to change. Pay 1.875% fee to receive this discounted rate. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated text messages. Message data rates may apply.
Hi, I'm Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt. After I left baseball, I just couldn't stay in shape like I used to. Turns out, once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone, and that can make it harder to get into shape. So I got back into the game with Nugenics. I'm feeling stronger with a lot more energy and drive. You want to get back into shape? Get Nugenics. All you have to do is send one simple text.
Frank's right. Just text MAINE to 321-321 to get a complimentary bottle of award-winning Nugenics, the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. Its unique man-boosting formula is powered by Testofen, a patented key ingredient clinically researched to help a man feel stronger, leaner, more energetic, and more passionate.
And guys, she'll like the difference too.
Nugenics samples are not available in stores. To get your complimentary bottle, text MAIN to 321321. That's MAIN
This is ridiculous.
to 321321.
Attention all timeshare
Holy
owners.
shit.
Is this what you'd like?
What's going on?
The amount of rain that's coming down right now.
Do you own a timeshare and just want out? Thousands of timeshare owners.
You talking about on the match?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Timeshare compliance. Timeshare compliance.
Manning
can
missed the
legally
putt,
terminate,
so now it's on
tear
Phil.
up,
Phil's going to knock
trash,
this thing down.
Eliminate.
Unbelievable.
Trash your timeshare agreement, ending your payments forever, saving you thousands. So whether you're a victim of a high-pressure, dishonest sales agent, or you were misled with what you were buying, or you overpaid and they underdelivered, call Timeshare Compliance now for a free consultation. With one simple call, the trusted professionals at Timeshare Compliance can legally rip up your timeshare agreement and help rip up your financial suffering. You could save thousands. Call now before another payment is due. Timeshare Compliance is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. Call 800-718-2963. 800-718-2963. 800-718-2963.
This is SB Nation Radio,
And SBNationRadio.com.
presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans, live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios. Here's a
Mike's up.
This thing is getting a little out of hand from a weather standpoint right now. Watching it is tough because you can see they're in a torrential downpour. And if you've ever played golf, even if you go once a year on a public course to playing every day at your private course, the game is simply not fun. First off, it's just not fun. Second, it is changed and altered significantly when the course is drenched. And we're not talking about a major PGA Tour event that at some point has to finish. Now, I'm not calling for the thing to end right now, but they could take a break. They could just try and wait. Now, again, I don't see the forecast in front of me. I guess technically we could look at what it would be at Medalist and the weather for the next, 3 or 4 hours. And maybe they're trying to jam it in because it's only going to get worse. But at that point, if you know it's only going to get worse and it's not going to get even remotely close to being okay to take a breath in the next hour, then maybe you should think about canceling or postponing. Of course, the weather was going to be present no matter what when you schedule this thing leading up to it. So they didn't really have any contingency plan. But I'll give you, again, we just saw live on the course examples of this where Phil Mickelson has, 6-7 foot putt because Peyton Manning missed one. No, Manning missed it because Manning missed it. But Phil is now putting in a torrential downpour. The green is significantly altered. And I'm not trying to make an excuse. I'm just trying to explain how much more difficult it is for everybody involved. And it's not like we're trying to equal out a playing field here. It's not like we've got 15 PGA Tour members who are all shooting consistently 5 to 8 under par, and you want to make the course as difficult as possible. Oh, and look, natural elements have come in to make it even more difficult. Great. No, this is Brady needs all the help he can get. Manning needs as much consistency around him. Things start breaking down like the weather around Manning, and we just saw he starts to break down as well. 2 straight shots in which he looked lost, similar to how he looked for the most part in the front nine before he turned it around. I don't know if it's necessarily a call to stop, but it should be a call to pause right now. You have to admit that there is nothing gained by trying to power through 3 or 4 more holes here before this thing ends. Now, Tiger and Peyton are still leading. They're still 2 up, but without a real big push here and it's not going to be easy, I think, for Manning and Woods to hold off Mickelson, because all Brady really needs to do is not screw up every shot. If Brady can hit 1, maybe 1.5 shots per hole, that should do enough for Phil. Phil's not playing as bad on the back as he was in the front when you looked at it straight head-to-head versus Tiger. But there is something to this element of pressure and rain coming in and the difference of what we saw in the first half. And yes, we'll always draw comparisons to their careers in the NFL, but Peyton Manning was really good when everything was structured. When Peyton was able to just go out, listen to his coach, execute the game plan, put his head down and swing, not have to worry about the rain, not have to worry about anything else. He was playing well, consistently well for about 3 or 4 holes overall. Straight. But then, here comes the rain, and now all of a sudden, one shot becomes 2 or 3, and they become unhinged. And much like we've seen where in his career, the deeper you get into the playoffs, not a bad tee shot by Tom Brady, who doesn't even look like he's hitting a driver anymore. But what we saw in his career, Manning's, of course, was a similar breakdown. Guys on the Steelers, guys on the Patriots, they tell you, you get Manning out of his comfort zone. You get Manning out of his ability to control, and you force him in a position where he has to react. Not good. Meanwhile, you want to keep Tom Brady within the lines. And I'm not saying he's going to be some sort of master innovator with the football, running around and extending plays with his nothing. But I'm just saying the openings that he'll be able to find and take if you give it to him as a quarterback usually come, we see, right? Comeback second half, usually come when things start breaking down. These two quarterbacks were polar opposite when pressure came about. And that's probably the biggest reason why, or one of the biggest factors why Manning underachieved from a Super Bowl winning standpoint. And that's the only reason why I would use that term, is from a Super Bowl winning standpoint. Tom Brady, of course, you'd have to admit, would overachieve because you look at so many great players that he played with, and you can't attribute every single one of those rings simply to him. In fact, we know that there were a couple of games in which he needed some help. Doesn't take away from him being the best or number 2 of all time. It just means, like every scenario in that game, you're not going to be the one guy to do it. But there's a middle ground, and that's really where you find Peyton Manning. At Shander Show, twitch.tv/Shander Show, 800-224-2004. This thing rolls on, and the beauty of it, you'll still find some action. You'll still find some live in-hole betting that you can take advantage of. If, in fact, there's another delay, because I know they pushed this back at least 30, 40 minutes to start. If, in fact, there's another delay, that's going to impact how this thing closes out. And maybe the freeze, freezing the kicker, I would imagine that the one guy who's going to be impacted the most by the freezing of the kicker, by pausing this event, would be Peyton Manning. In fact, it might be just what Tom Brady needs, is for mother. Now, wouldn't that be some Patriots stuff? Wouldn't that be some Patriots mess coming in here, where all of a sudden you start to see a little glimpse of hope that Phil Mickelson and Tom Brady can complete a comeback, but they need a little help. And it's not from the trusty hand wedge help. I mean, help from above. And no, not that type of help from above. I'm talking about from the clouds. And all of a sudden the rain pours and there needs to be some delay. Just take a 20-minute delay, take a 30-minute delay. That's fine. You can talk to everybody. There's enough personality on set that you can drive a 20, 25-minute rain delay. I promise you, with Charles Barkley alone can hold 20 minutes of court and hold a rain delay. That's not difficult. And then coming back from this delay, wouldn't it be something? Wouldn't it be something right out of the page of the book in the Patriots that they wrote and sell all over the world now? Taking advantage of opportunity, taking advantage of circumstance, how the Patriots do what the Patriots do. And now Peyton Manning comes out. He looks lost. He's putting the ball left, right, Army golf. You don't know where the ball's going, but it ain't going straight. And Tom Brady, outside of 2 shots, one of them being a putt, hasn't been able to do squat consistently or really at all outside of 2 shots. One of them being a putt, steps in and just dominates. Or at the very least, we can say would be better than he played, and of course, better than what Manning's doing. And Brady would then be the difference of why Phil would be able to mount that comeback. That's something that's the only scenario I would see to be able to freeze the kicker. Now, I know the broadcast's not going to do that on purpose to Manning, but if in fact it did happen, that's the scenario I would see playing out, where you could find Peyton Manning just melting, Tom Brady turning around and starting to hit drives consistently, not hit second shots fat as he did in the par 5 and nearly cost them a hole that they had to push over. All of a sudden, shots start falling. All of a sudden, Brady starts to look like a true single-digit handicap. Still don't believe it. Charlie Epps, you hear his voice here on SB Nation Radio. Golf guru, great golf instructor, joined us in the first hour. And point blank, I asked him if he thinks Brady's lying about his handicap. He said yes. Brady, the last time he played this hole, this is Charlie Epps, that's what he said. The last time Tom Brady played this course, he shot a 101. 101. And this guy out here, this is the best they could get from a golf standpoint. I know Brady's a legend. Brady's the man and all, but a 101? And as Charlie continued, Manning's a member at Augusta. You don't shoot 101 at Augusta. They don't ask you back. Augusta don't care if you're Peyton Manning. They'll tell you not to come back. They'll refund your money. There are 50 people that are of Peyton Manning's stature that would love to get in and be members there that won't shoot 101. Manning with a beautiful shot, by the way, on 14. Oh, no, wait. I apologize. That was the shot before him. You don't want to get confused here on where a ball lands, and it's pretty easy to tell. Every now, like 1 out of 5 shots, you look up and you're surprised that it was a quarterback's ball that lands where it lands. Now, there was a stretch of about 3 or 4 holes where Manning, especially off the tee, was hitting it really well down the middle. But for the most part, when you see a ball that's like 6 or 7 feet that lands and just stops next to the pin versus one that lands 10 feet out from the pin and then rolls another 5 or 6 feet, it's pretty obvious who those balls are. 800-224-2004. Our friend Richard's in West Virginia. Richard, you watching the match?
If I could find out what channel it's on, I'd be watching it. What channel is it on?
Well, it's on TNT on TV.
Oh, TNT.
Yes, sir.
Oh, heck, I tried about every other place, couldn't find it. That's why I couldn't find it.
Yeah, that's why they have Barkley doing it. So he's a TNT employee.
Okay, just by listening to you, it doesn't sound like it's very competitive.
No, it is.
Really,
It's competitive in that Phil and Tiger are so good, Richard, that neither one is really going to let the other truly pull away. But the first 9, remember, when I got on, they just were about to make the turn. They were still on the front 9. So it was really lowest ball per group in the front 9. That's why Peyton Manning and Tom Brady's golf balls didn't matter at all in the front 9.
Well, if they're only on 14, I guess I could just switch on to TNT and watch it raining cats and dogs. And because you said it's raining real hard, so that'd be interesting just to watch that. I'll turn it on. And this is just for charity, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And no rankings here. There's no impact on the FedEx Cup, nothing like that. I don't even think that Peyton Manning or Tiger Woods handicaps are impacted by this round.
Well, I guess I may as well just get my remote and turn on TNT and finish watching it.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, Richard. Appreciate you weighing in. Tom Brady can win the hole for birdie. Peyton Manning has been slipping, folks. There is an opening right now that Tom Brady can take. And I'll credit the rules and I'll credit the broadcast because they knew that once it went to alternate shot, the focus would significantly be on Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. Tom Brady's missing birdie putts left and right. Phil Mickelson can do no more. Really. Phil Mickelson right now is getting frustrated. The thing about it is Phil has missed a couple of shots. Now, they've been some tough lies in which Brady, or distance that Phil just doesn't normally hit from. And then Peyton Manning misses a bunny to tie the hole. You got to be kidding me. This thing is competitive on the scoreboard, but you've seen two pros go at it for 10 holes or so where Tiger Woods was just the better golfer. It doesn't mean that Phil wasn't hitting good shots. It doesn't mean that Phil was out of it. But at one point, through 9, being 3 down, that's not that competitive. It's not neck and neck. But here you go. Peyton Manning just missed a bunny putt. What was that, 3 feet? Manning just missed the 3-foot putt to win the hole, or to tie the hole, pardon me. So Woods and Manning lose another hole as a result of that. Unbelievable. At this point, it might not even matter how bad Tom Brady's playing or how good Brady may have to be in the final 4 or 5 holes, because Peyton Manning is starting to melt. Peyton Manning right now, you can blame it on whatever you want. It's in his DNA as an NFL quarterback, to the weather is having an impact on his read. I don't know what. But this is a grade A meltdown for a guy who was playing really well. Trust me, I have it all the time. I'll get there. I'll get on in 2. Find a way to 3-putt for a bogey, mind you, but get on in 2. And then the next 2 holes, it's just you're picking up. You've lost the ball. It's a travesty. It's a travesty what happened in those 2 holes following what you did. That's what's happening right now with Peyton Manning, melting down next to the all-timer in Tiger Woods. Philly Godfather will join us. Little betting angle here and more coming up here this hour on the SB Nation Radio.
Into the night.
Now imagine how pissed off Bryce Harper must have been while he's playing Fortnite with the bros. And he gets dropped in. All of a sudden, his computer beeps, and you have a new message.
Right. Incoming email.
Incoming email from the commissioner. And then he says, bros, I got to stop the Fortnite, man. I'm kicking ass here. I got to put down my joysticks. Bra. By the way, that Snell bra, man, that dude, that's my boy right there. And he's got to read a 67-page report, Harry.
There's no way Snell bra made it to the Okay, let's be real.
Snell bra probably opened the first page and said, screw this.
He's not getting paid $7 million to read this.
Hell no. 67 pages. You got to pay me double what I was supposed to get.
And then I'm getting taxed?
It's just not worth it, man. It's just not worth it.
I mean, I'm only getting paid to read 20 pages of it.
Into the Night with Tony Bruno and Harry Mays. Weeknights at 10 Eastern.
Wake up call. It's really weird how gambling is now embraced and everyone acts like they never hated it or bothered by it before.
You know what else is getting that same love? Weed.
Same thing.
For years it was taboo, and now we're getting to that point like, it's not that bad.
No, it's not that bad. Same thing with gambling.
Which my state will legalize it.
Yeah, right? There's a lot of people doing this. Okay, all right, well, you know.
Wake Up Call with Tony D and Ron Culver. Weekday mornings.
Wake up call. It's really weird how gambling is now embraced and everyone acts like they never hated it or bothered by it before.
You know what else is getting that same love? Weed.
Same thing.
For years it was taboo, and now we're getting to that point like, it's not that bad.
No, it's not that bad. Same thing with gambling.
Which my state will legalize it.
Yeah, right? There's a lot of people doing this. Okay, all right, well, you know.
Wake Up Call with Tony D and Ron Culver. Weekday mornings.
Wake up call. Raiders and Saints, right? Big game. Opening up the brand new stadium. But you know what's going to be missing? There's going to be like 15 people in the shot. The black hole is going to have like 4 participants.
Do you think only AI and D show up?
That's right. Yeah. AI and D. Right. That's the only ones they got. Like, that's all we can fit in.
Yeah.
Social distancing.
Both R's.
S is out. Both R's are gone. They wouldn't let them in the stadium.
Which quarterback is going to shush the crowd?
That's what I was wondering. Which quarterback is going to have the guts to go up to a crowd and go, quiet? I would do it every time I was in the red zone this season. That would be my thing. You're going to be able to hear, beer, beer. Which one of you 5 want beer?
Yeah, I'm over here.
Yeah, all right. It's going to be a walk, but it'll be fine. I'll get there.
Wake Up Call with Tony D and Ron Culver. Weekday mornings. This is SB Nation Radio,
and SBNationRadio.com.
presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans, live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios. Here's a
Mike's hot.
10 minutes from now, we'll chat with the Philly Godfather, one of the top handicappers, sports betting analysts you'll find in the country. We'll spend a couple of minutes here as this thing winds down. Still some opportunity to get live in-game as well. That's something to look at, where you can find the true value here. That's going to be key, I think, in trying to capitalize on when this thing ends. Knowing, of course, that you've got really only a couple of holes left. This thing could be, I can't believe we're saying this because Woods and Manning, pardon me, have blown this lead, but this is actually winnable now for Mickelson and Brady. As inconsistent as Mickelson was in the front nine, that's probably putting it as nice as you can, due to FCC regulations, of course. That on top of watching where Tom Brady was, which was in the woods for the most part, at least off the tee box, there is something about this comeback here that seems to fall way more on Peyton Manning's shoulders than it does Tiger Woods. Through 14, up 1, closing out in 16 is no longer a reality for me, unfortunately. That's going to be a big problem. I lost that bet. So maybe you can try and look at this optimistically, look at the scorecard, try and figure out where this thing can close out. All right, let's look at this from a Woods-Manning standpoint, all right? They're up 1, heading into where Tom Brady just won the long drive challenge, by the way, by 1 yard, mind you. They're on 15 right now, approaching the green. Woods and Manning win this hole. They go up 2 through 15. Now, there are only 3 holes left at that point. It could still technically win. They have to win 2 in a row. Woods with a really nice shot on the front end of the green. It's going to be a little tough. But this is a winnable tournament or match or round or whatever the heck you want to call it. Charity event, technically. This is winnable, where Peyton Manning is going to be the main culprit. I never thought that would be the case at the turn. Here with the alternate shot, I thought this was going to be a case of Phil Mickelson going from blowing up at himself to just holding and trying to restrain himself as much as possible when it comes to Tom Brady's terrible shots. Meanwhile, Brady has had a couple in the back nine, including an eagle putt that wins a hole. But the big thing is Peyton Manning, ever since this rain picked up, and it looks like it's starting to open up now, which is fine. Much better than what it was. It was ridiculous for these guys to be playing through that torrential downpour, that hurricane level. But the alternate shot now has allowed Peyton Manning an opportunity to come in and kind of mess this thing up. It's going to be concerning if Manning now continues to power through some of these putts and close shots. Wow, Mickelson, man. This is a hole here. This is a winnable hole. All right, both guys on the second shot, because they use the pros, they use the quarterbacks' tee shots. So both guys, both golfers, real golfers, these are the pros we're talking about, on the second shot. Approach shot. Whereas Tiger Woods hits probably about 15, 20 to kind of eye it, which gives Manning a really good position to kind of lay up, and Woods just knocks it in, they pick up, and, they move on. Same opportunity, second shot, approach shot for Mickelson, and this was the difference in the front nine. Mickelson's shot hits the hill and rolls opposite, breaks left instead of right towards the tee, towards the pin, And instead, now you've got a guaranteed 2-putt at least because Tom Brady is charged with whacking the ball. That's the difference in who you have to rely on now with this alternate shot. I don't necessarily think if Brady and Mickelson survive this hole, survive 15 right now, after a poor approach shot that put Brady and Mickelson on the edge of the green and a great approach. He didn't stick it per se, but he got pretty close. 15 feet. Like if Woods were taking that shot, then you would have every right to think he could knock it down. It's not like one of these long-ass 35-foot putts that all right, well, the difference between these guys and me is that they're going to put it right there and they'll 2-putt. I probably 3, maybe 4-putt. Philly Godfather coming up next. We'll see his thoughts on what to do and when this thing holes out. All here on SB Nation Radio.
Hey, will you send me his information?
Yep, doing that right now.
What's his name?
Steve.
Steve, okay.
Turner, CEO of
You
Rocket
could just call him Philly. You can call him PGF.
Decisions has
okay.
Yeah, that's fine. PGF
right
is fine. Hey,
decisions now
PGF.
when they matter most. Mortgage rates are near historic lows. So when you call 8338-ROCKET or visit us at rocketmortgage.com to start your refinance, you'll be well on your way to saving money every month. The rate today on our 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.375%, APR 3.59%. Right now could be a great time for you to take some positive financial steps forward with a cash-out refinance from Rocket Mortgage, which could give you the boost that you're looking for. In addition, we may be able to help you refinance with little or no out-of-pocket costs. At Rocket Mortgage, we're committed to every client, every time, no exceptions, no excuses, giving you the best mortgage experience. Call us today at 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com to learn more.
Rates subject to change. Pay 1.875% fee to receive this discounted rate. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. And MLS number 3030.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Generic Sildenafil allows you to save up to $650 on Viagra. Why pay name brand prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get the same results for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 50 generic Sildenafil pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $750 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill for the name brand again. Get generic Sildenafil for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-450-5582 today and save up to $650 and get 50 pills for just $99. Generic Sildenafil is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting to take your call now. Call 800-450-5582. That's 800-450-5582. Again, 800-450-5582.
Did you know online alcohol sales have more than tripled since March? Yep, drinking from home is at an all-time high. And Cheers is here to help fight those pesky hangovers. Whether you drink a little or a lot, Cheers is designed to reduce alcohol's negative effects and help you feel better the next day. It works by neutralizing the toxins that affect your liver and replacing the vitamins you lose when you drink alcohol. No more waking up
All right, he's on for you.
for a night of drinking. It's the best thing to happen to alcohol since alcohol. To use Cheers, just take 2 to 4 capsules after your last drink or before bed. If you don't feel at least 50% better the next day, you'll get your money back. No questions asked. To order Cheers, simply visit cheershealth.com/radio and use promo code radio10 at checkout. You'll get $10 off your next order and at least 50% off your next hangover. That's cheershealth.com/radio. Promo code radio10. Say cheers to brighter mornings. Your liver will thank you.
This is SB Nation Radio,
And SBNationRadio.com.
presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans, live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios. Here's a
Not too much time left, as you just heard Phil and Brady go back and forth. 1 down, 3 to go, as Peyton Manning once again leaving the door open for somebody else. Stop me if you've heard this before. Manning leaving the door open for the competition. Brady and Mickelson tie the hole. Nice tough putt by Mickelson, mind you. They move on. And through 15, Tiger and Peyton are still one up. So we go out to the Progressive guest line and are joined by the top better prognosticator, handicapper, anybody that knows about anything from a line to how it moves to why it moves. We start, I don't care where you are in the country or the world. I know you were doing stuff with the coach earlier on Instagram. I saw a tweet about that. Philly Godfather, PGF, you're everywhere, bro.
Man, that's an amazing introduction. Wow, thank you so much. Yeah, me and Coach, we did a couple things. I gave out the some golf prop bets and some NFL futures, and there's really nothing else to talk about. So we've been digging into the NFL season.
Is there anything that you gave out ahead of time that has hit so far on the match?
I gave out what was it, Tiger and Peyton to be, I think, leading after 9 rounds.
Yeah. That seemed real quick, if I can. That seemed, I know that it was around like minus 140, 150, I guess, depending on when you got in. But were you shocked that it was so low simply because the quarterback's balls didn't really matter?
Yeah, to me, I felt like I was stealing, laying that low price. So I jumped on that. The other one that I should have hit was any team wins 3 consecutive holes.
Yeah, thank you.
Plus 500.
Yes.
Tiger hit that ball, went in and out of the cup. I could have swore I was ready to spend the money already. That one upset me a little bit. But, yeah, it's just all for fun and games. I mean, I wasn't trying to make no score today. You know, anything could happen. And the way the second half of this tournament was laid out, I mean, it was wide open.
I can't believe you brought that up because I was watching that hole. I had the same bet, and I had it at 450 at William Hill, and I'm thinking, all right, this is it, right? And then, of course, it's the stupid hole where everybody has to pick one club to use. And you mentioned, here's Tiger putting with an iron, and of all things, it rims out. Like, that in its own right was a kick in the stones right there. I could not believe that prop was going to lose that way.
Yeah, it felt like a punch in the stomach.
It did.
And when I looked at that number, it was minus 700. The implied probability they were telling you was almost 90%. And I'm thinking to myself, either one of these, two teams can go on a little, 3 victory run there. And I thought the number was just way too high. And, it was a great bet, but not all great bets cash. You know that, ain't it?
Absolutely. And that's why we go to you to try to find the value in all of this. They're on 16 right now. I know they're still in the process of teeing off. And, man, I had plus 4,000. Anybody hits a hole in one today. And Manning, it looks like, is maybe a foot or two from the hole. But as we close out on this par 3 16, Tiger and Peyton still one up. Do you see any way in which this goes to a playoff?
I mean, anything's possible. Is the weather? I just got into the office.
It cleared up. It cleared up.
Is the weather real bad?
No, it cleared up. For a minute, though, it was really bad, and it was pouring, and you couldn't see anything. But now it's cleared up. It's not even raining.
Well, now that it cleared up, I think Tiger's going to pull away. I mean, he's got revenge on his mind. He lost to him last time. He's definitely playing for something here. He usually doesn't come, doesn't show up in these charity events, but this was a little special to him. I think they can pull it out.
Actually, as we speak, the rain begins again. So how much of a factor does this play? So you're watching, you're live betting hole through hole. How much does the torrential, because normally the PGA event, with the level of rain that we saw, that would at least get somewhat of a delay. But here, it's a charity event. They push through and all this. Does that change, or how much does that change you live betting hole to hole when you see all of a sudden there's been a torrential downpour?
Well, I laid the 190 early before the match started. And then as soon as it started raining like crazy, I started betting the dog on the live line. I got some great prices. And thank God these guys ain't baseball players because they won't be out there playing.
No, not at all. All right. So what surprised you the most about Manning or Brady's play so far? Because you kind of have to, the front 9, you don't have to worry at all about them. That's just Tiger versus Phil, and we know Tiger's the better golfer. You mentioned you felt like you were stealing on that one prop. But looking at now with these guys actually mattering, at least in the back 9, what's jumped out at you about their play, good or bad?
I mean, Brady's clutch. You've seen him, hit the ball a ton on the fairway. He's just a clutch player no matter what he's playing. I think both Peyton Manning and Tom Brady might have lied a little bit about their handicap.
Thank you.
Just a little bit. But then again, you got cameras, you got bad weather. It's a different environment than when you're, playing at your golf course, close to your house. So, I think it's somewhere in the middle, their handicap.
Yeah, well, we had a golf guy on, Charlie Epps, who joined me in the first hour, and he said that the last time, and I think you would know this as well because this would come up in research and data, but he said the last time Brady played at Medalist, he shot a 101.
Yeah, I think I read that somewhere. Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's
a
not
tough course, though. It's really a tough course because there's danger lurking everywhere, and if you haven't played it before, and if you're not used to it, like Tiger, I mean, it's not an easy course to play. I mean, if you look at it from, look at it.
Is there anything that you'll take away from this? I know that we have a couple of weeks right before the PGA actually begins, but are you looking at maybe a strong performance by Tiger today that may influence a futures bet with him or even with Phil?
Well, with Tiger, you're always worried about his back, right? He's had 4 surgeries, so he's looking strong to me. He looks like he's in great shape. Phil, I don't know. He's inconsistent. I know his ratings dropped. I think he's 222nd in the world right now. I mean, Phil's going to be undervalued coming up in these next tournaments because of recent play. But these two guys are the best of the best. I mean, they got 15 wins for Tiger and 5 for Phil. It's just, how can you bet against these guys ever, man? They're just so good.
So help us out here. We're chatting with the Philly Godfather, of course, and you can follow him on Twitter at Philly Godfather. How much of an impact? Because clearly it's making an impact. Some, a lot, all. But I would imagine that even in a normal summer where, we're not told and mandated to be inside for as long as we've been, this would be a heavily bet on live bet and leading into the event bet on tournament or match, pardon me. But now that we have been stuck inside and quarantined and all the other crap, how much more did this add to the amount of money that was bet on this event?
I heard it was 20 times more than what it would have been on this event. I mean, there's nothing to bet on. Everyone's jonesing to bet on something. Everyone's looking for something to watch. Everyone's looking for something to get away for a couple hours, to get rid of some stress. And this came in handy, man. I mean, it was a great thing to watch. It was not as good as I thought it would be. But, I mean, I talked to the guys offshore. I talked to my guys in Vegas. The mobile apps, they're betting. People are betting. People are betting a lot.
Yeah, and I imagine, especially live, and that's something that we'll probably have to wait on, right, as far as the data that gets collected and the money that comes in. But you've got a 1-stroke lead right here with 2 holes left. Even if you haven't been live betting, now you probably see even more people jump in just because it's so easy to get on a DraftKings or any app and just be like, all right, I can ride this momentum. Phil and Brady have been tying holes because Manning's leaving it open, and I imagine even the live betting is through the roof.
I think Manning right now, I just checked, Woods and Manning are minus 560. I mean, how do you not take the plus 400?
Oh, my goodness.
Phil's a money player. He's been known to gamble some big bucks on the golf course. Some associations he's had with other professional sports bettors. It's been out in the newspapers. The guy can gamble, and the guy's great under pressure. So, I mean, it's worth to take a shot, especially if you laid the 190 early and now you come back with a little plus 400. You can't get hurt.
Was there any discussion at all ahead of time about betting on an exhibition and having the people involved here not playing for anything, meaning, any type of impact or any type of shadiness surrounding, the players themselves, as you mentioned with Phil? Not that I would believe it, but I'm just curious if it was brought up.
Well, I heard a rumor that one of the professionals that isn't Phil actually bet on himself here. So that's why I was leaning that way. And I know it must hurt him a little bit that he lost to Phil the first time. So, I mean, is it true? I don't know. It was a rumor. It was floating around, my little circle, my guys in Vegas, Costa Rica. So you take it for what it is. It's another box that you check off. And if you're leaning that way, it pushes you to bet that side.
I'm curious. I never really asked you this question, and I would love to know your thoughts on it because you're a perfect person. You are the perfect person in my mind to ask this question because I don't know if I'll ever get a definitive yes or no. But the one big takeaway that I've got from watching Jordan's career and watching The Last Dance is that he is a man that is driven by the smallest level of pettiness, and that makes him the ultimate competitor. But it's balanced out, PGF, with this gigantic appetite to bet. How in the world am I led to believe that he would bet on every single thing possible to place a bet on except him winning a basketball game or him winning a championship or him doing anything positive on the court?
And I might get sued by the NBA if I
all right.
I really feel.
I don't want to get you in any trouble, but I wrote a column about it. And I was thinking about it, and both
I might
you
get shadow banned on Twitter.
No.
You might see my Twitter handle disappear.
I don't want that.
Got a lot of power. Listen, you got to remember, I have a very good friend that went to war with the NBA, so I know how powerful they really are.
Yes, you do. Good news is nobody from the NBA listens to this show, so you're not in any trouble as of yet. Hey,
man.
So I'm curious, let's look at win-loss. And I'll throw one out right now, and I know everybody is just jacked the you-know-what up off of the Tom Brady-led Bucks. But I feel like there's some pretty good value if you can still get it for the Saints win-loss record, win-loss total. Is there one win-loss total that you've been all over in the NFL futures?
I like Buffalo Bills.
Okay, it's a good one.
I bet the over 9. I mean, Brady's gone. They lost 6 games last year. 2 of them were to Tom Brady's team. And I actually like them. I bet them at 33-1 to win the Super Bowl. I think it offers tremendous value. Now, anytime you bet a future, you're not going to bet it with 100% conviction that they can actually win the Super Bowl, but you're expecting this team to go deep. And with that type of defense, if they can get home field in that weak division, they're playing in a weak division. Imagine you got to go up to Buffalo for the AFC Championship game or for a playoff game, and it's -5 degrees. I think they can pull out at least one win and maybe end up in the AFC Championship game. And then if you're playing Baltimore or Kansas City, who both have higher Vegas projected to win totals, well, then maybe you can hedge your bet for some free money. I like Buffalo over 9 wins. The Eagles total scares me a little bit. Their schedule's really, really tough. 9.5. I nibbled on some under 9.5 on the Eagles win total. They're playing 4 teams with projected win totals that's the same or higher as the Eagles at 9.5. And then they got to play Green Bay, Pittsburgh, Seattle, and Cleveland. Green Bay, we're expecting them to regress a little bit, but you're still playing against Aaron Rodgers. The other 3 teams are supposed to get better. Pick up, Big Ben back. Cleveland loaded up with, offensive weapons, offensive line. They got a much better coach. It's going to be a tough road for the Eagles. I took the Cowboys plus 100 to win the division. I think their schedule's a little easier than the Eagles. Tampa Bay, I went over 9 wins, now at 10. It's tough. It's a tough division with the Saints. The Saints definitely offer some value, but I'm all in with Tampa Bay. Before the news broke about Tom Brady going to Tampa Bay, I gave it out on Twitter too. I bet Tampa Bay at 50-1 to win the whole thing, and I took my plus 700 to win the division. Obviously now the line has plummeted, and most of the value has been extracted. But I like Tampa Bay. I like their chances. They picked up that monster offensive lineman, the guy that Tom Brady wanted.
Yep.
They got so many weapons. On the defensive side of the ball, they were number 1 against the run last year, Tampa Bay. And I like Tom Brady's chances there.
Always appreciate you, sir. Thanks for the time tonight. Enjoy the rest of the match. Be well.
All right, man. Good. All right, guys.
All right. Philly Godfather. At Philly Godfather. We'll wrap the hour next year.
Into the night.
All right, man. Give me 1
Bernie
second.
Johnson, the NBA on TNT, joins us right now. All right, so it seems to be a lot of pushing and pulling from different sides around the NBA on whether or not to get this thing going again. Do you feel that that's going to happen?
Well, if there's pushing and pulling in the NBA, it's just a reflection of the society that we're living in now, too, because you see states, some are opening things back up quicker than others are, and others are exercising more caution. And so I think it's the same way with the NBA. You're dealing with 30 NBA cities, and the rules aren't the same for for everybody. So that makes it impossible, Tony, to say, oh, yeah, well, it looks like things are right on track to start playing again on this date. And I've said it since day one. If you're going to go back to work on this, if the season is going to resume, man, you better be pretty darn sure that this is safe and you won't have to worry. To me, you can't do that yet, certainly. And I don't know if we will see a resumption of the season.
Into the Night with Tony Bruno and Harry Mays.
Let's do final hour.
Pharrell.
Final moments live at the match.
It's Pharrell here from Sports Grid.
And the standout moments of the day on the course. And
Morency game time decisions. Put it on from 4 to
Guess we can
7
mention
East. And then everybody else in our path. What we're doing is we're destroying them.
maybe, what's that?
Oh, I just was wondering what you would want to mention.
No, that's fine.
Pushing the Odds with Matt Perrault.
And then
Tim
we
Bravo
have
on Twitter to follow him, joining us on the Progressive Guest line. People are saying without students on campus.
And then our guest. Sorry,
Who's
Scott.
the guest in the third hour?
I thought you had somebody, right?
No.
No?
For college football.
No, I told you to let me know what you needed.
Oh, shit. I thought I did. I'm sorry.
No.
Financial realm of college football.
Damn it, that's my fault. That's definitely on me.
Statement about nothing but online.
You're right. I didn't text you
classes,
anything.
Later in the year, he's making the
Sorry.
No, it's not your fault. It's me. I told you I'd text you. I didn't text you.
bold decisions that they don't have to
Let me
make. They
think about it.
illustrate what happens with use of power. And the real leaders are doing the right things behind the scenes, and then they'll make their splash when the time comes. And I'm telling you, I think that time will be sometime next month.
Pushing the Odds with Matt Perrault. Weekday afternoons from 1 to 4 Eastern on SB Nation Radio.
Headed to Texas to watch your team play, but don't know where to go for that pregame drink? Visit CultureMap.com for all of the hottest spots in Houston, Austin, Dallas, Fort Worth, and San Antonio. From the most popular bars to those favorite dine-in gems, Culture Map has it all. Then before you leave town, why not visit some of the best places to shop or see some of the sights? Culture Map has extensive coverage on all the things to do in the city you're in. So check out CultureMap.com. That's CultureMap.com.
This is SB Nation Radio,
And SBNationRadio.com.
presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans, live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios. Here's
Mike's hot.
Thanks to the PGF joining us as we roll into the third hour. This thing is winding down, but he gave you some pretty reasonable odds if you were listening, and I jumped in as he was talking. Got Mickelson and Brady at plus 350 and 18 Mickelson and Brady to win it at plus 280. So we'll see if, in fact, there's anything where Brady and Mickelson right now on 17 have a shot. It's always the quarterbacks who have a shot to either win or tie the hole from putts. That's how it's been in the last couple of holes here, coming into the close, rounding out. And if Brady can knock this thing down, then we're moving into 18 tied, which I can't even fathom is a possibility. Now, Brady missed it. He left it short to the right. So we'll see, most likely another push and move on to 18, down one. I tell you, the drama here alone between Phil and Tiger is worth it. For this to be now, we had to get to the setup, and I think you were right to cast some sort of doubt on whether or not we would physically get here to where there would be just a one-stroke lead heading into 18. But here we are, our final hour. We'll dive deep into it, and something you might have missed in German soccer. All right, man, I'm going to send you a. All right, man. I'll be right back.
RJ
Right?
Ochoa here from bloggingtheboys.com, your home for the best Dallas Cowboys coverage on the web. And did you know that we have a podcast feed? The Blog of the Boys podcast feed has daily episodes breaking down the latest and greatest in the world of America's team. We have multiple shows, multiple analysts, including a Super Bowl winner. Two-time Super Bowl champion Tony Casillas is part of our rotation, and we want to make sure you are as well. We're available on Apple, Spotify, and wherever else you get your podcasts. So don't miss out. Subscribe to the Blog of the Boys podcast feed today.
Wake up call.
I would say this too. If you're going to do the Peyton Manning challenge, do it after the Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, Tom Brady.
Right. Right.
That way
Absolutely.
you get the behind the scenes scoop. Like, okay, what's Tiger really like?
I'll tell you what, man, Tiger does not shut up. That whole time we were playing, Tiger could not stop talking the whole time. I think I talk a lot. Tiger talks. That would be great.
Yeah.
I would be totally into that.
Did Phil just walk around flexing all the time?
Phil thinks he's good. Nobody loves Phil than Phil. Like, if you got that information, that'd be gold. Like, I like Phil, but I don't like Phil as much as Phil likes Phil. You know what I mean? I had my fill of Phil after hole 3. How about that? That would be great. That's worth $500,000.
Oh, easily.
Wake Up Call with Tony D and Ron Culver. Weekday mornings. Pharrell.
Coast to coast. It's Pharrell, coast to coast. We're taking over the world. And I got to tell you, from the beginning, it's been kind of easy. You got to love us on SB Nation, kicking ass and taking names. Every day, 4 to 6, you catch my Sports Grid coast to coast gig. And imagine this. Once we go live again, baby, you're not going to know what hit you when I start pouring beers and shots for you.
Pharrell Coast to Coast with Scott Pharrell. Weekdays from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern. The second level. The
first, and I can't get it out of my head, Tony's Fauci is awful. I think I've heard Tony do other impressions. I've heard him do voices, if you will. And they're all great. They're all on the level. But I don't know. There's something about that Fauci that's really off. This is the dueling Faucis here.
That the idea of having treatments available to facilitate the reentry of students into the fall term would be something that would be a bit of a bridge too far.
Or
we may never be able to shake hands ever again. It's more like if you have 2 people in a room, it's better if one of them leaves.
Tony's Fauci sounds like what the real Fauci would sound like if he were yelling. The real Fauci sounds like he's been yelling at the president for the last 8 hours.
The second level. Weekdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern.
Wake up call. Please, God, if it does come to that, can we have the Walking Dead zombies, not the World War Z?
Yeah, I don't need the fast-moving
superhuman.
Ooh,
I'm not outrunning a World War Z zombie.
I'm the guy you bring because secretly you know I can't keep up with the rest of the group. Hey, I'm going to take Bob and Jim and Tony. You come with us, too. And everybody knows why you're bringing me. So when push comes to shove, I'm the meal.
Wake Up Call with Tony D and Ron Culver. Weekday mornings. Into the night.
Here with Phil Simms into the night. All right, Phil, where's the 30 for 30 on Phil Simms and Bill Parcells?
No, the whole
and
Parcells era with the Giants would be
exactly.
fascinating.
How can that not be a 30 for 30, Bill?
Well, one, it's a new world or an old world back then, so there's not video much of anything, and especially our interactions during practice. So his favorite, I always say this, played under Bill Parcells for 8 years. Of course, we had great success. And when he retired, I had to come home and check my birth certificate to see if my first name began with a P or an F. Because for 8 years, I was F and Sims. F and Sims. It never ended.
You can spell Phil with an F, depending.
Well, I guess you can. Yeah. One of my teammates once said, you should just write FS like Lawrence Taylor does LT. And I go, what? Excuse me, what'd you say? He goes, FS. I said, I thought I heard you say that.
Into the night with Tony Bruno and Harry Mays. Weeknights at 10 Eastern. Game time decisions.
I'm Gabriel Morency, inviting you to join me and the Raging Redhead Cam Stewart weekdays at 6 Eastern on SB Nation Radio, the loudest station in the nation. No games, no problem. We've got your back. Weekdays at 6. We throw it down. Best bets, props. If they're playing, we'll find a number on it. Bring it. Weekdays at 6. SB Nation Radio. Game time decisions.
Game time decisions with Gabe Morency and Cam Stewart. Weekdays at 6 p.m. Eastern. Game time decisions.
I'm Gabriel Morency, inviting you to join me and the Raging Redhead Cam Stewart weekdays at 6 Eastern on SB Nation Radio, the loudest station in the nation. No games, no problem. We've got your back. Weekdays at 6. We throw it down. Best bets, props. If they're playing, we'll find a number on it. Bring it. Weekdays at 6. SB Nation Radio. Game time decisions.
Game time decisions with Gabe Morency and Cam Stewart. Weekdays at 6 p.m. Eastern.
My name is Megan Eddings, founder and CEO of Excel Lifestyle. Research shows that wearing a face mask drastically reduces the spread of the coronavirus. Excel Lifestyle's Prima antibacterial face masks are soft, washable, and double layer for added protection. To purchase you and your loved one's face mask, please go to excellifestyle.com. That's ACCEL lifestyle.com. Once we receive your order, we will ship your masks out immediately. Thank you and stay safe.
This is SB Nation Radio. SB Nation Radio.
And SBNationRadio.com.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Rocket Mortgage is with you every step of the way. Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios, here's
This thing could be over the next time you hear my voice in 6 minutes. It might be a playoff. Down to the final 2 shots, we believe. Woods and Manning hold that 1-shot lead as Peyton Manning has crumbled at times in the back nine. Tom Brady has used that opportunity to step up and miraculously make shots in only Tom Brady fashion. Meanwhile, Phil Mickelson is charged with a very difficult shot here. 35, 40 yards at most from the flag, a sharp downhill right slope that he's going to have to chip onto. Meanwhile, Woods, on the other hand, thanks to Manning, who has played really bad for the most part, or inconsistent in the back nine, Manning got on the green. So both Brady and Manning in their second shots, so their first shots of this whole part of me, the second shot, approach shot. Manning's is on the green, but it's far. It's a 50-foot putt at least. Both Woods and Mickelson have their work cut out for them to hold this out. Phil, on the other hand, is not going to be able to. This would be a miraculous golf shot in any event, under any circumstances, for Mickelson to knock this through. Tiger Woods, on the other hand, when you're on the green, you're in that comfort zone, you can rely on your putter. It's a little different. And it wouldn't be the first time that Woods hit a crazy putt 50, 55 feet out, where we should be shocked to the point where it's like when Brady holed out in the front nine, the lone good shot that he hit, I think. And these guys have lost a ton of golf balls, a ton of balls. You know, those things are expensive. A sleeve of 3 balls at the pro shop is not cheap. Unfortunately, you're going to get the markup. You're going to have to get that markup, and that's going to be a problem because that thing might run you $9, $10. Manning and Brady have plowed through golf balls. Meanwhile, Phil Mickelson with an amazing shot. We'll get to that coming up next. At Shander Show, twitch.tv/Shander Show. The match, it's been fun. It's been live. It's winding down next.
Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage. Making the right financial decisions has never been more important. When you turn to Rocket Mortgage, we can help guide you to those right decisions now when they matter most. Mortgage rates are near historic lows, so now is a great time to call 833-8-ROCKET. And if you need some extra money, a cash-out refinance could give you that financial boost you're looking for. Call today at 833-8-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com to learn more.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. And MLS number 3030.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated text messages. Message and data rates may apply.
Hi, I'm Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt. After I left baseball, I just couldn't stay in shape like I used to. Turns out, once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone, and that can make it harder to get into shape. So I got back into the game with Nugenics. I'm feeling stronger with a lot more energy and drive. You want to get back into shape? Get Nugenics. All you have to do is send one simple text.
Frank's right. Just text MAINE to 321-321 to get a complimentary bottle of award-winning Nugenics, the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. Its unique man-boosting formula is powered by Testofen, a patented key ingredient clinically researched to help a man feel stronger, leaner, more energetic, and more passionate.
And guys, she'll like the difference too.
Nugenics samples are not available in stores. To get your complimentary bottle, text MAINE to 321-321. That's MAIN to 321-321.
You're going on a trip, but where are you going to stay? How much will it cost? Well, it'll cost less by booking on besthotelrates.com. BestHotelRates.com works with all the top hotels in the country while delivering you great hotel and room choices for the best prices. Why wait? Go to BestHotelRates.com, enter your email address, and start shopping for your next hotel room. BestHotelRates.com, it's in the name. BestHotelRates.com.
Non-attorney paid spokesperson. Could your house go into foreclosure? Are you behind on your mortgage payments? Does it seem like the bank has no interest in helping you save your home? And you feel like you have nowhere to turn for help? Then we have good news for you. Foreclosure Protection Services can help save your home as they specialize in foreclosure assistance. That's all they do. If you're behind on your mortgage payments, being threatened with foreclosure, have been denied a loan modification, or been the victim of a predatory loan, it's critical that you call Foreclosure Protection Services now at 800-946-1013. Their network of attorneys and their agents are available to speak to you now. If you're behind on your mortgage payments, Foreclosure Protection Services can help stop the foreclosure process. Call today before it's too late. New laws are in effect that may save your home. Call Foreclosure Protection Services now at 800-946-1013. 800-946-1013. That's 800-946-1013.
This is SB Nation Radio,
And SBNationRadio.com.
presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans, live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios. Here's
So here's the biggest takeaway from me as the match is over. Tiger Woods and Peyton Manning win. They needed 2 putts to close out, and it was a long one. Tiger nearly put it in. Inches from the cup. They picked it up. They move on. So they tie 18, and the match closes out as Tiger and Manning winning it 1-up. Mickelson and Brady, give them credit. They came back. It was not Phil's best day by any means. And for people that were watching Phil until he shut it down, it's pretty reminiscent of what we've seen. Great shots at times, inconsistent at others, and one miss is enough to put you out, especially when you're on tour and you're going up against 50, 60 other people that are in contention, to where you open up and maybe leave a big hole that somebody can climb through. But the biggest takeaway for me by a mile, and I don't even think it's close, Tiger Woods did not miss his shot all day. There wasn't one shot where Tiger truly missed. Flubbed it, blew it, hooked it, sliced it, sculled it. Nothing. Gassed it as Manning was all over the green, pounding away on putts at times. Tiger Woods played an impeccable round of golf. Impeccable. It's his home course. He knows it better than most courses, if not the best of any course. But still, despite, it's not like they were playing from the seniors. And it's not like he was getting mulligans or anything else that would limit your excitement or any type of projection to come from this. Tiger Woods played outstanding today. And this is still, from the backs, this is still Tiger going out and playing where he would in a tournament. It's not the same, I get it, as a tournament per se, but for him to play an impeccable round of golf, 1 through 18, that should be scary. If I'm other people watching this thing, I am, unless it's like Brooks Koepka, who probably doesn't even get impacted by any of that. He just goes out, puts his head down, blasts away. Seems to be working for him. But if I'm anybody else on tour, if I'm Mickelson and I go back and I watch this thing and I'm thinking, all right, we had it. Where did this go wrong? Well, first 9 is where that hole, that lead, that round right there was lost, and we were never able to make it back. Down 3 at the turn is just too much. And credit them for mounting a little bit of a comeback, but Tiger Woods was the difference in that he didn't allow it. Peyton Manning allowed for an opening or two, but it just came down to, at least towards the end, you saw Tiger was not going to miss a shot, and he did not. And he didn't have to redeem himself This wasn't Tom Brady, who played like garbage for the first 9 and then did find a way to redeem himself. Or Peyton Manning, who played okay for the first couple and then really good for the next couple and then inconsistent, kind of ugly at times in the final couple. Just there at times, helping his partner in Tiger at times and being the difference at times, both good and bad. Brady was just lucky to kind of get back to normal, but in doing so, hit a couple of great shots. Mickelson was playing okay. You wouldn't know, I think, that big of a difference in how Phil was playing outside of seeing Tiger Woods on the same course and seeing Tiger hit from the same areas and seeing Tiger make shots that Phil was missing. That was a big change, and that highlights a lot more Phil struggling or being inconsistent than if it were most other pros. But, man, how can you not look and hear and consume what happened today and not think to yourself, if Tiger Woods can keep this momentum moving, if Tiger Woods himself can keep blasting away, then there's going to be a problem on tour. There's going to be an issue where he now becomes electric. And that's going to be, if we look back to this, and if it's some precursor, if it's something that launches as a catalyst, maybe, probably not. It's just one round of golf. But even if you don't want to take a leap or a half leap with me and say, this is something to build on, of course, knowing that so much of Tiger Woods' success is predicated on him staying healthy. If you don't want to take that full leap, if you don't want to take a half leap or a skip or a jump about what it could happen at all to the futures and how this could dictate betting live moving forward with Tiger, then meet me at least halfway and recognize that you're seeing the difference with Tiger Woods totally locked in versus Tiger still messing with stuff, still fidgeting with stuff, still coming back from an injury, still trying to get his back right, his stance right, his putting right. There wasn't anything at all that Tiger Woods needed to get right today. There wasn't anything at all that Tiger Woods needed to fix, come back from. There wasn't anything that needed to be tinkered with, nothing. Tiger was so locked in. It was crazy. This happened early on. You might have missed it because it was right, I don't want to say like the third or fourth hole. Peyton Manning has about a 15-foot putt, all right? Realistically, anywhere from 12 to 15 feet. It's a big putt. That's tough. I don't care if there are cameras or not. If you're just out there solo, golfing by yourself, that's a big putt. So Peyton Manning looks and thinks, what do I do? I've got one, if not the best ever. He's my teammate, can act as a caddy here. Let me get a read. So he gets the read from Tiger Woods. And I kid you not, it reminded me, I even looked over to my brother-in-law's brother where we were watching this. I guess technically that would be, well, is your brother-in-law's brother your brother-in-law? Is that how it works? John, are you familiar with the family tree and how that moves with in-laws?
No, but I would say it would just be brother-in-law's brother.
Okay, so he's not an in-law, right?
I don't think so.
No, he's not my in-law by any means. I just didn't know. Yeah, I guess you're right. So I
think
even
you said it right.
Brother-in-law's brother. It just sounded weird when I said it, but I've never had to say it before. This is the deepest I've ever gotten into a relationship. So I look over and I said, did you see that? He said, yeah. I said, that looked exactly like Klay Thompson turning around, walking back, facing the crowd as Steph Curry releases a shot. Before the ball even gets released, Klay Thompson is walking back with his hands up, back to the basket, knowing it's good. We saw this earlier, as I mentioned. Manning looks over to Tiger Woods, says, what do I do? Tiger gives him about a 30-second breakdown. Well, it's breaking a little to the left, and you want to hit it. He even gave him how much percentage he should swing the putter. And here's Manning. All Manning had to do, he essentially was put in the same place, the exact spot that he needed in order to just go back and forward and listen to the amount that Tiger told him to hit the ball, and it would go in. That's Tiger set him up perfectly. And as you're watching, if you missed it, here's Manning with his head down, trying to knock down this 13, 14-foot putt. And as the club goes into its little backswing, it hasn't even made contact with the ball. Tiger Woods is already walking with his head down and then looks up as the ball rolls in and gives one of his fist pumps. It was ridiculous. That's how locked in he was today. I can't give you every shot he hit is going to be on there. You're going to see highlights of it. It's going to be evident based on how he swings the club. He had a fantastic round today. But if you truly want to see even another level of how much he was locked into this thing, that was probably the best example I could find. My goodness. Are you kidding me? I kid you not. It looked exactly like Klay Thompson just walking back. Not even running back, not even getting back on defense. You know, when Steph jumps up, like Steph is in the process of jumping up and about to release that shot, is similar to Peyton Manning, in this case at least, not normally. His putter in the back swing before it even makes contact, before the putter even moves forward to make contact, Tiger's already walking back like Klay Thompson. And lo and behold, that sucker stinks. It was one of the coolest moments. I know Tiger has some special things associated with his name. And as a golfer, he has done it better than anybody. But that was one of the coolest moments for me that I'll remember and tell people that I saw about Tiger. Just knowing and reading, and I don't know if any PGA Tour could. I don't know that. All I know is Tiger did it. And all I know is Tiger did some special things today. And Charles Barkley playing with the yellow ball. Got to respect that. They're showing the earlier game in which he goes out. Man, when's the last time Barkley played with the shirt tucked in, you think? It's going to be tough, man. He looks like Tom Brady out there. Putts going left, putts going right. Tiger Woods was so dialed in, he was able to put somebody in place and just said, just hit it. I'll put you exactly. It's like a robot. Peyton Manning was a robot, and all Tiger did is just physically put him in the right place and say, all right, go back and forward. The ball's in. He knew it. As soon as Manning went back, Woods knew it. Oh, by the way, Tiger went on and had a hell of a round. You won't see anything like that. So special and so fun to watch. So from an entertainment standpoint, let me start with the biggest one. The biggest payoff, and I didn't really get anything going with the PGF stuff at the end. Tried to jump on with some value with Brady and Mickelson, but too little too late. The early stuff hit, though. Definitely. One thing I do know, one thing that I would say was not as high of a reward was that it didn't really feel, at times at least, like either Brady or Manning truly could impact the match. That was a big disappointment. Man, I don't know why. This mic cover, I need to fix it. I got a new mic cover shipped to me. And I put this thing on, and now all of a sudden, 2 days in a row, where didn't you say Gesundheit?
Yeah, I said bless you yesterday, yeah.
It's only happened to me one other time when I worked in a studio where they got new mic covers as well. And it was in the winter. I didn't have any cold or runny nose or sneezes or anything. And I would go on, I'd start the show, and 4 or 5 minutes into the introduction, I'd have to sneeze. It was ridiculous. It was going on for, I'd say, I'm only on 4 or 5 days a week at the time. So it happened probably like 6 or 7 straight shows. And it's happened here 2 straight days, right around this time, too, towards the end of the show, I feel like. I don't know what it is, man. Something about these mic covers.
Do you need a mic cover?
Yeah. The reason why is it helps it helps diffuse that tinny hollow sound. So if you don't have a mic cover, you're more prone, and now the mic I have is pretty good, but still, you're more prone to have some sound not be absorbed. That's, a lot of the mic cover will absorb the audio. So despite the processor and all the things that are going on at the network that go out through the local radio affiliates, and then the radio stations themselves have their own processors and whatnot. So my voice is being processed a couple times over. I understand that, but it's still being originated from someplace. And if the source is off, then it's really difficult to process that out. So yeah, unfortunately, I do need the mic cover because it helps diffuse and absorb that and prevent, I should say, that tin sound. But other than that, I just need to buck up, and maybe I need to wear a mask when I do this show with this new mic cover because I'm getting too close and 2 straight nights. It hasn't happened before. I'm doing this 7 days a week with the old mic cover. Now all of a sudden sneezing 2 times in a row. At Shander Show, 800-224-2004, twitch.tv/Shander Show. We'll get some insight coming up 15 minutes from now about some NFL rule change, but also the New York governor allowing sports back, how that's going to impact the Jersey teams, all here on SB Nation Radio.
Wake up call. When my son goes down to Gainesville to go to the University of Florida, my advice
Hey,
to
do you
him
have
would be,
Matt Lombardo's
do not
number?
be
My buddy
Florida.
Lombo here.
Let me see. I might have it saved.
Okay.
Florida man.
It's something that just comes over people, and
Is
they're
it
like,
the water?
wow.
Is it the sunshine? My question to you, Father, is
No, I don't have it.
All right.
become that. Do you pull them out?
That's a good question. That's where I might have to sit with my wife and go, look, he's putting toothpicks in light sockets. He's walking around with an open umbrella during a lightning storm. We have to sit down and reassess his post-high school education.
He's walking into people's houses thinking it was his professor.
Right. Yeah, right. Exactly. It's like,
We
well,
can't have this.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned.
Throwing footballs in a park that's closed.
It's closed. Wrestling alligators. I don't want you doing that. Or
Yeah.
petting alligators. Whatever. Don't do any of these Florida man things. I'm just afraid it's in the water.
Wake Up Call with Tony D and Ron Culver. Weekday mornings. Pharrell,
Coast to coast. It's Pharrell, coast to coast, every day, 4 to 6. I talk to the biggest names in sports. I talk to GMs, coaches, owners, players, and they're all doing the same thing. They're laughing, and they're breaking up, and they don't know whether they're coming or going when I'm done with them. I'm giving you what you want. Sports down your throat, big time on SB Nation, baby.
Pharrell Coast to Coast with Scott Pharrell. Weekdays from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern. Pushing the Odds with Matt Perrault.
Joe Theismann here on Pushing the Odds. How has quarantine life been for you?
Probably the most important word that we can all consider is patience with everybody. I know everybody's sort of going stir crazy. I mean, let's face it. This is something we're not used to as a society. We move quite rapidly, but now we're forced to sort of reevaluate the important things in life, and I think it's good in that regard. Matt, I've said this for a long time. If you have your health, you have wealth. Wealth has nothing to do with what your bank account looks like. If you have your health, then you are a very wealthy person. Now it's important that we understand that you want to be able to keep social distancing so that everybody can stay healthy. And the more we can practice that, every day that we can practice that, every day we can buy a day for the scientists to be able to come up with a cure or a vaccine, it's a day closer to having this craziness end. And life will never be the same.
Pushing the Odds with Matt Perrault. Weekday afternoons from 1 to 4 Eastern on SB Nation Radio. Introducing AutomotiveMap.com, a brand new website for anyone interested in what's happening in the world of automobiles. From reviews on the latest vehicles to vintage rides to tips on keeping your family safe on the road, AutomotiveMap.com has something for you. If you love cars, trucks, and SUVs, and the amazing technology hitting your favorite showroom, check out the brand new AutomotiveMap.com. This is SB Nation Radio,
And SBNationRadio.com.
presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans, live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios. Here's a time.
All right, Matt Lombardo is going to join us, covers the Giants and NFL for NJ.com. The New York governor, Mr. Cuomo, says pro sports are back in the state. But what does that mean for teams that practice and play right over the bridge in another state? That state has a governor that has not offered the same invitation or type of invitation for local teams. In fact, New Jersey, top and bottom, is really split when you look at the line because there's no central Jersey. There's just North Jersey and South Jersey. And North Jersey is a suburb of New York State, right down to Trenton. And around Trenton and South is a suburb of Philadelphia. Atlantic City is its own world, but it's made up of people that have been living their life going to Philadelphia most times a bunch a week or a month. Philly is where you go to go downtown. Philly is where you go to see sporting events, concerts, etc. You don't drive to you're a local in Atlantic City. I've worked there for years. You're a local in Atlantic City. You don't drive up to New York just on a whim. Go to Philly because it's easy. Point of it all being is that you've got a split now. You've got teams like the Sixers, for example, in Philadelphia who practice in New Jersey, this state-of-the-art, multi-million-dollar extravaganza building that they've created where you can essentially live there. You also have at the top of the state the Giants, the Jets, and how that impacts being, quote, New York teams, but we know playing in Jersey. So we'll talk to Lambo about that and possibly any type of NFL rule changes that could go through. Now, John, I am curious from you because I know you've been working with me now for the past hour and a half, Jack with me the first hour, but you kind of came in right around the beginning or start, if you will, of the turn. What was your overall reaction from this? And there's no wrong answer, so if you didn't like it, that's fine. I'm not here to battle you. Only have about 4 minutes anyway before the break. But I am curious because you and I seem to disconnect a lot when we talk about TV shows, and we haven't had live sports to talk about, and yet here we are now with live sports to talk about.
Yeah, I'm not much of a help on TV shows.
It's fine, though. I've come to accept that and actually like that about you. It's impressive.
Well, I thought this was fun. I really did. I mean, Tiger and Phil are two of the greatest, and then Brady and Manning are two of the greatest, different sports, and they come together. And I thought it was really interesting, and I didn't get the chance to watch much of it until I got here to the studio. Your breakdown of it made me even more interested in it because when they're going down the stretch and Manning kind of flubbed in the back nine a couple times, you brought that drama to it because it really wasn't there for me until you started getting excited about it.
Okay, because when you're watching it, I could see that. A lot of times when you're just watching it, especially when you have the alternate shot and two of these guys, as you mentioned, are pros in Phil and Tiger, there's always that sense of, all right, even a bad shot, they're going to rescue. But when Manning was missing putts to close out holes, that is where it became, oh my goodness, that level of drama to where, is this going to be the undoing? Think about it. You saw it. Tiger was immaculate today.
Yes, he was.
Yet they still blew a 2-hole lead. Isn't that insane? Now, they didn't blow it in the sense of they lost it, but they were up 3 and ended winning up 1. My point of it is that they were able, and Phil and Brady were able to take 2 strokes off of that lead. And as great as you and I watch, and we all witnessed Tiger today, it's kind of hard to say anything other than Manning was the culprit. It's crazy, man, to see everything that we have looking around at how great Tiger was. All of the entertainment value today starts with how great Tiger was. Questioning really where Phil Mickelson is right now, because at times he played well, at times he just wasn't Phil. And then there was what you got from an entertainment standpoint, what you got, how satisfied you were watching Brady and Manning. And there were a couple of quips, there were a couple of jokes. It was light. They trash talked, but you didn't get deep stories. You didn't get anything that would truly be this fantastic anecdote. Here's Tom Brady looking over, talking to Peyton Manning and they reference something. There was a little bit about the Falcons and the Eagles, and we'll play you that cut before we get out of here if we can. I'm talking about a deep level of anecdote. Like, listen up, son. I'm gonna school you on what happened here. Michael Jordan is in the news. That could have been brought up. Just all-time moments.
I have a quick question for you.
Yes, please.
What does this mean? So we got to see Tiger Woods today play immaculate, and now it was a charity event. I get that, but what does that mean for Tiger Woods going forward? Are we going to see something similar to this?
I can tell you this. Nobody really knows how he'll play because his health can truly be like him not feeling well is the difference of him shooting 4 or 5 under and leading going into the weekend versus missing the cut. But I'll guarantee you this, John. You know how we are. We've been locked up at home. People are doing everything they can to get the hell out of their house. You heard the PGF, if you missed him, he was on an hour ago, and said this was bet 20 times more than normal because of the COVID situation. So to that, John, I say people are betting as we speak Tiger Woods to win stuff just based off of this. I guarantee you. Somebody watched this today and thought, oh, Tiger's winning the Masters. Tiger's winning anything that's going to be all round. Tiger's going to win it. That's probably the biggest impact that Tiger's play had today moving forward on the tour.
Hi, this is Jay Farner, CEO of Rocket Mortgage. Making the right financial decisions has never been more important. We can help guide you to those right decisions now when they matter most. Mortgage rates are near historic lows, so when you call 8338-ROCKET or visit us at rocketmortgage.com to start your refinance, you'll be well on your way to saving money every month. The rate today on our 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.375%, APR 3.59%. Right now could be a great time for you to take some positive financial steps forward with a cash-out refinance from Rocket Mortgage, which could give you the boost that you're looking for. In addition, we may be able to help you refinance with little or no out-of-pocket costs. At Rocket Mortgage, we're committed to every client, every time, no exceptions, no excuses, giving you the best mortgage experience. Call us today at 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com to learn more.
Rates subject to change. A 1.875% fee to receive this discounted rate. Call for
Well,
cost information and
here's the
conditions.
thing.
Equal housing number, license in all 50 states, and MLS number 3030.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Generic Sildenafil allows you to save up to $650 on Viagra. Why pay name brand prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get the same results for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 50 generic Sildenafil pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $750 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill for the name brand again. Get generic Sildenafil for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-450-5582 today and save up to $650 and get 50 pills for just $99. Generic Sildenafil is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting to take your call now. Call 800-450-5582. That's 800-450-5582. Again, 800-450-5582.
Non-attorney paid spokesperson. Could your house go into foreclosure? Are you behind on your mortgage payments? Does it seem like the bank has no interest in helping you save your home and you feel like you have nowhere to turn for help? Then we have good news for you. Foreclosure Protection Services can help save your home as they specialize in foreclosure assistance. That's all they do. If you're behind on your mortgage payments, being threatened with foreclosure, have been denied a loan modification, or been the victim of a predatory loan, it's critical that you call Foreclosure Protection Services now at 800-946-1013. Their network of attorneys and their agents are available to speak to you now. If you're
all right, he's on for you.
All right, thanks, buddy.
Foreclosure Protection
No problem.
can help stop the foreclosure
Came in clutch, huh?
today before it's too
yeah.
late. New laws are in effect that may save your home. Call Foreclosure Protection Services now at 800-946-1013. 800-946-1013. That's 800-946-1013.
This is SB Nation Radio,
And SBNationRadio.com.
presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios, here's Aton.
Here's an idea. This thing has to continue, but let's make it an anthology. And I just put it out on Twitter at Shander Show. The Match 3. You know this thing isn't going away. We need more of this. And you could work this throughout the PGA season to where you take different golfers who may take a weekend off or may not be as prominent as they once were. How about this? Before we hit the progressive guest line and bring in one of the show favorites, Matt Lombardo, who I'm sure will have some thoughts on this as well, at Matt Lombardo NFL. The Match 3, John Daly and Trent Dilfer versus Fuzzy Zeller and Joe Flacco. Now, that's a game that I think is going to have a lot more anecdotal type stories than anything you got today. It was a success overall. Now, there's news in the NFL regarding New York teams, but what does that necessarily mean for teams that practice and play in New Jersey? Matt Lombardo, as mentioned, covers the Giants, the NFL for NJ.com. Lombo, always a pleasure, man. How are you tonight?
I'm great, Tom. Thanks for having me on. Before we get to the football, I think I have the dream pairing for the Match 3. And I agree with you. There needs to be more of this. But I think I have the dream pairing. It's Tiger Woods and Michael Jordan versus Phil and LeBron. Now, to me, that would be the most compelling foursome out there because I watched last week with Rory and Dustin Johnson, and it was great to have golf back, but I just couldn't get into it, right? Today with Tiger and Phil, it felt familiar, and of course you had the rivalry with Peyton and Tom Brady. But if you added in LeBron and Michael Jordan based on everything we saw of MJ in The Last Dance and how compelling the debate always is, with LeBron versus Jordan, I think that might be the most compelling 3 hours in sports that we would say.
Can we meet each other halfway and say Jordan, LeBron definitely have to go head to head, but let's saddlebag them with guys like Daly and Zeller?
I think it could be fun. I think that could be fun.
Because I love your dynamic.
Yeah, I think that would be great, but I think that if you add in the continued rivalry of Tiger and Phil, remember it's the rubber match now because it's 1-1. I think it would be the ultimate tiebreaker to bring these guys back a third time.
I love it, man. And I know you are an avid golfer, gentleman's golfer, of course. Great line of clothing. I go out with my shirt and glove every time I'm out at my club. So I know that you're paying attention to today beyond just, all right, it's on TV. I thought it was pretty good. I definitely was happy with it. I thought it was pretty good. I thought that they needed people like Barkley and JT to kind of help move along the discussions and all. The only negative I would say, Lombo, is that from Brady and Manning's standpoint, I would have loved to have more, not even more, but any really deeper anecdotal type stories that I guess maybe it's not, but it's golf. You always have time to tell stories.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think that putting them in golf carts rather than having caddies there kind of shortened the time you would have had for those anecdotal stories between shots. But I would have loved a little bit more trash talk, but I do think it was kind of funny going back and forth with Peyton and Tom and sort of some of the jabs they threw at one another and just listening to Phil teach Brady some of the intricacies of his short game when they were up around the green. I found that pretty fascinating and a lot of fun to watch.
There was one moment, I don't know if you caught it because it was early, and I think a lot of people maybe got on late because of the delay, but this is how locked in Tiger. I know it's a charity event. It's one round. It's his home course, but man, Matt, Tiger Woods did not have one bad shot all day, and he was so locked in at one point, I think it was on 4, he's telling Peyton Manning exactly what to do in order to knock a putt in. And before Manning even makes contact with the ball, Tiger Woods is walking away with his head down, his hand up, like Klay Thompson walking back as Steph Curry's about to launch a 3. It was amazing.
Yeah, that's Tiger for you. You just think back to the Masters last year at 13 when he's the only one in his group that didn't, put it in the drink, and he walks up to the green, beats those guys there, stands off to the left side of the green when Finau and the Italian Molinari.
Molinari, yeah.
Take their shots with Tiger up there stalking the green. That's just the competitive nature of Tiger Woods, and that's what makes him so fun to watch. And that's why, guys like me got so into the game early on as kids, and why we still walk around wearing Nike in our 30s.
What does the governor of New York, his invitation to open up sports and teams to play and practice in the state, how does that impact the Giants and Jets where they play and practice in North Jersey?
Yeah, Eitan, I think that this is one of those things where if you just zoom out past how it affects the Giants and the Jets, it's one of those moments where, okay, it feels like there's some positive momentum in this country that it might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but at some point there's going to be a little bit of normalcy here because we all know that New York has been hardest hit of anywhere in the country when it comes to the coronavirus and COVID-19, both in terms of cases, death toll, the scope of the outbreak. And if New York is saying that they're ready to welcome back pro sports in the near future, then I think that you're going to start to see some dominoes begin to fall across the country. And if we watch what Governor Phil Murphy has done throughout this process, he hasn't been that far behind Andrew Cuomo in recent weeks in terms of how they've opened things back up and gone about their phased reopening. So on one hand, it's encouraging from a bigger picture standpoint. Here's something else to watch, Eitan. That long before the Giants moved their training camp back to Quest Diagnostic Training Center about 5 or 6 years ago, they trained at the University of Albany. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if you saw the Giants and Jets, if the New Jersey outbreak doesn't get better, move their training camps to places like Hofstra or Albany or anywhere upstate New York, Syracuse, if college football is delayed onto that campus, to keep the training camp within driving distance. I wouldn't rule out teams in places like New York and places like Philadelphia and what we're seeing in Texas and now potentially in Georgia and Florida. I wouldn't be surprised to see teams flock to rural areas in the middle of the country to hold training camps. I wouldn't be surprised that if these outbreaks don't improve in hotspot areas, that the NFL doesn't move teams out of their respective cities to cooler spots, so to speak, across the country. But in the very short term, I think that what happened in New York today is a step towards the Giants and Jets potentially holding training camp in New York and potentially the NFL inching closer to, if not starting on time, not facing a significant delay if things continue to improve. Now, I'm skeptical based on what we've seen around the country, but if things continue to improve, there's a chance we might see games starting on time.
All right, let's look at a somewhat realistic possibility. New Jersey, as you mentioned, was hit really hard. The majority, if not overwhelming of it, coming in the north part of the state due to it being such a close suburb of New York City. But what happens if the NFL season is ready to go, but New Jersey is not? Are the Giants and Jets playing at Orchard Park?
Yeah, I don't know that it's necessarily Orchard Park, Eitan. I'd go back to what happened with Hurricane Katrina in the aftermath in 2005 when the Saints moved to Baton Rouge for a game and then eventually to San Antonio for the rest of the year because the Superdome wasn't playable. I wouldn't be surprised if you see teams like the Giants and the Jets, and depends what happens in places like Houston and LA and Seattle, because obviously the governors in California and Washington State have been pretty on top of all of this. From a public health standpoint, if those governors deem the states not open for business in terms of pro sports, I think you could see teams being moved to supposed green states. You could see the Giants and Jets playing games in Miami. You could see the Houston Texans games and the Los Angeles Rams playing games in Phoenix, Arizona. Whether it be at Chase Field or Glendale, where the Cardinals have their home stadium. So it wouldn't surprise me if you start to see teams moved not only from their state, but even from their region, if there are available sites that haven't had an outbreak as severe as their home state, or with governors who are more than willing to take the risk to have pro sports happen in their state.
Let's use your team as an example, but we can find others around the NFL, so feel free to throw in any others that work. But how much of a disadvantage is a Giants team that's having a brand new head coach and others that may have a new quarterback or another key figure that they're going to have to rely on either prepping or executing each week? How much of a disadvantage is it in this type of unique offseason?
Oh, I think it's huge. And I think that the teams that are going to be able to hit the ground running this season, regardless of when it starts, are going to be teams with established head coaches and programs, like the New Orleans Saints and Sean Payton, and the Eagles with Doug Peterson. I think that if you have a first-year head coach, and especially a first-year head coach with a second-year quarterback like the Giants, to me, it's a monumentally difficult task to not only begin to build your program, but get your quarterback on the same page with new offensive coordinator Jason Garrett and a brand new scheme at a time where you're holding your offseason via Zoom and Skype and FaceTime rather than on-field drills, mini camps, and who knows when training camp is going to happen. So I think that it's going to be difficult for Joe Judge to establish a culture, and I think it's going to be even more difficult to get the intricacies of a new scheme with a young quarterback down for a team like the Giants. And I look at a team like the Dallas Cowboys, they might have a leg up on the Giants because they have such an established veteran roster, especially at quarterback with Dak Prescott. But I look at Washington, a team with a new head coach in Ron Rivera, same deal. Second-year quarterback or a career backup in Kyle Allen with a new head coach. This is not an ideal offseason for teams to be breaking in new head coaches, new schemes, particularly with young quarterbacks.
Anything that you look at today that concerns you about Tom Brady moving? I mean, the guy looks really thin, man. You know, one hit, Brady could be done for the year.
Yeah, I think that, you look at that supporting cast he has, though, and I just think that you talk about some of the weapons. Yes, he's always had Gronk, and Gronk is a bit of a shell of himself coming out of retirement, but he's never had a pair of wide receivers like Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. He's never had a defense that's been quite as dominant as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have a chance to be this year. It's going to come down to that offensive line in Tampa, and it's going to come down to if he has the arm strength at this age in an air raid style offense with Bruce Arians. But I still think the NFC South has a chance to be the most competitive division in the league.
Really? Is there a team that you look at? Maybe it's the Giants. I don't know. But is there a team you look at that was dead in the water last year in the NFC? Let's just look at the NFC here, as it's the conference that you and I care about more so than the other one. Not to slight anybody in the AFC, but is there anybody last year who was just dead in the water, had no shot at even making the playoffs, that you think is a lock to make the playoffs this year outside of the Bucs?
Yeah, Eitan, I'm not sure if I'd use the term lock, but last week I did a story ranking the 8 teams rather that finished last place in their division.
Perfect.
That have the best chance to make the playoffs this year. And to me, the runaway favorite in the entire league to go from worst to playoffs is the Arizona Cardinals. Because I look at that team, Kyler Murray, go look at his numbers last year, over 4,000 passing yards, 2,400 rushing yards, a bunch of touchdowns. They go out and they get him DeAndre Hopkins at wide receiver, a game-changing, elite, field-stretching wide receiver. They get better on defense with Isaiah Simmons. Cliff Kingsbury's system showed that it could work a year ago. And while the NFC West is really top-heavy, when you look at the 49ers and the Seahawks, I think that the Niners, rather, might be a little bit fugazi when it comes to the quarterback situation. And I think that could hold them back. And I think that if you want to look at the potential wildcard teams in the NFC, the surprise to watch, in my opinion, is Arizona.
That's up on NJ.com, right?
It is, yep.
Awesome. Thanks, Lombo. Appreciate you, brother. Have a great night. Enjoy the weekend.
You got it, brother. Stay safe. Thanks for having me on.
At Matt Lombardo, NFL on Twitter. Again, that is up on NJ.com. We'll wrap the hour next.
Into the night.
The great Pat McAfee, an award-winning sports reporter, former punter, joins us now. Pat, I read that you said that you have no shot of being part of the Monday Night Crew. Is that official, or is that just your gut feeling?
A year ago, my boys and I and the people that follow me on the internet are the greatest humans on earth. We pushed for the Monday Night Football rule. We know there was no chance that I would get considered for it, but we made a little bit of noise. And whenever the job seemed to be opened up yet again here, obviously the natural thing was, okay, we made a push for it last year. Let's go for it again. And every time I would ask a question to, my people, I was basically told, that's going to be a long shot because ESPN, they want a prestigious booth again. And whenever you're a punter, that's not necessarily the position you're always in, a prestigious one, shall we say. So I think I've been told on a couple different occasions that I'm probably not the guy that's going to get that gig. And do I think I'd be good at it? Yeah, I think I would be. But now is not the right time. And there is zero chance in hell that I get offered the gig anyways.
Into the Night with Tony Bruno and Harry Mays. Weeknights at 10 Eastern. Into the Night.
seriously now.
Are we done with this yet?
Not yet. What do you mean, are we done? You called here. You want me to be like a regular talk show host and just hang up on you and run him? Should I run him, Eric?
Or rack him?
No, I'm not racking him.
They're not racking him.
Jim Rome only racks great calls. He has a take, but he sort of sucks at the same time. I think that's going to be my new thing. You know, you had a take or two, but for the most part, I got to run you.
Into the Night with Tony Bruno and Harry Mays. Weeknights at 10 Eastern.
Wake up call. We know Major League Baseball is trying to get back, but eventually it will, and eventually minor league baseball will be back. And if you are a minor league team in need of a change of identity, would you go with Murder Hornets?
I think it's a fantastic idea.
Kind of like with a hat, with a Murder Hornet hat on it, maybe going through some letter or something. Like if you're Chattanooga, you got a C on it and a Murder Hornet blasting through.
A Murder Hornet mascot running through the stadium.
Wouldn't it be cool if you have like a race between a bee and a Murder Hornet? Like, everybody, now let's go to the outfield where Harry the Murder Hornet is going to be running against a couple of bees. And you get the fans dressed up as bees. And they're running, and if they can outrun the Murder Hornet, they get a prize pack. But if the Murder Hornet catches them, unfortunately, he's got to rip their head off.
Wake Up Call with Tony D and Ron Culver. Weekday mornings. Pharrell.
Coast to coast. People used to say, oh, that Pharrell guy, he's on late at night. He doesn't matter. Well, how do you like them apples? Now I'm on 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern on SB Nation, and we're going to cut everybody down like trees everywhere. It doesn't matter if it's afternoons, nights, mornings, weekends. Pharrell Coast to Coast rules.
Pharrell Coast to Coast with Scott Pharrell. Weekdays from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern. This is SB Nation Radio.
I have no idea why that stopped.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios.
Mike's hot.
All
right, we're back on a Memorial Day Monday. So I'll be in tomorrow, 11 to 1 p.m. Eastern, second level returns. We're here for a full 5. And we'll recap a lot of what we saw today from the match and a couple of great moments of trash talk. Best moment for me by a mile was when Tom Brady admitted that it wasn't the Atlanta Falcons that make him cringe. It wasn't.
The Falcons are playing against. Tigers are a pretty good closer.
Same colors, though. Man. It's the Eagles that I cringe, bro, not the Falcons.
Oh, I love it. That's music to me. You have no idea. Hearing
that makes you feel good.
Seriously, hearing that, John, is like hearing some 1990 KRS beat that just makes me stop and go into some trance. Like it's the best type of music to my ears that I could possibly think of. Like I couldn't dream that if you gave me a week to come up with something Tom Brady would say that would be memorable, I couldn't even come up with that. Now, I thought Nick Foles' trash talk was the best thing I would see or hear all day, but it was that. Foles tweeted out earlier, Peyton, 2 words. If Tom and Phil start coming back, quote, Philly special, go win it. I thought that was going to be top right up there, Mount Rushmore on the track. Eli Manning was awful today. Eli Manning was just, the awkwardness of his trash talking felt like somebody was writing his tweets. I hope to goodness that he's not normally that awkward, but a lot of me believes that he is. That Brady cut was just gold, pure gold. Because as you know, and I said this in the first hour when we played it, Tom Brady is up. I don't know every night, but he's up. Tom Brady is up. He'll wake up 2:33 in the morning. Giselle yelling, Tom, come back to bed, come back to bed. He's watching the film of the 2017-18 season where that Super Bowl lost to the Philadelphia Eagles, where he threw for over 500 yards. A backup quarterback got the ring, not Brady. And you know that's what drives him nuts the most. It was fun. Thanks, Jack. Thanks, John. Back tomorrow.
All right, Aton. Have a good week, man.
You too, brother. Thank you.
Yes, sir.